We got Pittsburgh Knights versus Noble. First and foremost, starting off with the Kings of LATAM, as they call themselves, one of the most favored and loved teams in all of Gears history. It's the Pittsburgh Knights. Ribs, talking about the squad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud that these guys got here after such a subpar performance in Pro League, all the way down in 8th place out of 10 teams. They come in the major and they say, we're going to make it all the way to Championship Sunday. Ryan, I love how they always make it here. It doesn't matter if we do Swiss pool play, normal pool play. These boys are always here, but this is going to be a huge test for them to go against Noble. I'm looking at Chaoz, the return of Chaoz. He hasn't played in the major, a couple majors, and he's here. And he usually he shines on these Championship Sundays. But it's going to be Monkyz and Raver that are going to have to turn up. They're going to have to meet the slaying power of Noble. And then Dezo, he is going to be your IGL. He's going to be your power weapon player. And he's also going to be one of those huge clutch players. When he makes a 2-piece or a 3-piece, it usually decides that round for the Knights. So I'm looking at Dezo to make sure he comes big when he needs to.
I love it. So you have Monkyz and Ravers who have to match the slaying power of Noble. Dezo is the X factor, having to step up. If he can step up, then this whole squad will raise. We'll see if they can do exactly that. And I'm excited. And then, of course, Chaoz kind of got buffed a little bit with a lot of the changes that came months and months and months ago with Gears slowing down a little bit. He was always more of a kind of a slower, old school Gears player, played Gears 2, played Gears 1, one of the older kind of veterans in the LATAM scene. So I think that's why you've seen him perform better and better every single event. But on the flip side, we got a different story. We got a Noble squad, a lot of new faces in this one, plus Toti from the United States. Ryan, talk about this roster.
This is one hell of a roster from top to bottom. I always say it. There's not a lot of things this team does poorly. They're very, very strong top to bottom. They have incredible slaying power. You look at guys like Dyslexic. You look at guys like Fearzly. Fearzly on Control of the Day had an entire map where he didn't die. Those two guys are just mechanically sound, incredibly hard to kill. Then you have Xploidz, another very mechanically skilled player, arguably the best sniper we have, right, in Gears Esports, and now especially with, game types like Execution, where you're seeing more sniper play. That's incredibly important. Then you have Toti, the Swiss Army knife, right, the player coming from the North American region. He's one of those guys who can do everything, right? He can use his shotgun, he can use his Lancer, he can make the smart play, he can make the rotations, he makes his teammates' lives easier. And that's why this team is so hard to beat, right? There's not a lot of things this team does bad, right? You're not going to usually out-rotate them. If you want to go gun for gun with them, they have some of the most skilled players we have in Gears Esports. This team just does so many things correctly. They move together, they move quickly. That's why they're always finding themselves, up and near the grand finals.
Yep. Well, two great teams, marquee teams, and a marquee matchup between Pittsburgh Knights and Noble. We, of course, have the map picks and bans ready. Let's take a look at what maps we'll be playing on. Ribs, talk me through this. Any team have a clear advantage here, and which team is good at which game types?
Yeah, let me just go through them real quick. The Knights pick Control, Reactor. Then we're going to go to Clocktower. That's going to be Noble's pick. Vasgar, that's definitely, I'm going to give that one to Noble. And then Speyer, Control, and Tomb Execution if we get to a map 5. So Knights are just similar kind of to United, that I think they're very strong on execution. I'm going to give them that Tomb if they get there, but that's a big if, a huge if. Reactor Control, we actually haven't seen that much throughout the weekend. And the reason I say I don't give Knights Vasgar is because they've kind of been going towards Harbor throughout the weekend, whereas Noble is just such an immensely strong Vasgar team. Even though they lost it to KCP yesterday, KCP is probably the best Vasgar team. So there's a lot of different ways this can go, but like I always say, when you're an execution strong team, doesn't matter if it's the opponent's pick. When I look at that Clocktower, that is a must win for the Knights because I just don't trust them on that map 3 or to win both of the controls.
Interesting. And interestingly enough, Vasgar Escalation was the Pittsburgh Knights pick, despite them kind of favoring Harbor throughout the weekend, and despite Noble being such a good Vasgar team. So that is what we'll see in terms of map picks and bans. Ryan, any other thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to be definitely a very, very good one. These are one of those matches, like I said, not to take the analyst stuff out of the equation, but this is one of those matchups where sometimes the maps don't necessarily matter, right? You already know it's going to be a good one no matter what maps you throw these two teams on. So I'm just very excited to see them get on the battlefield. Like I said, this is a matchup we've seen a lot of different times, right? So both of these teams definitely probably know what to expect from each other. It's going to be about who gets out there and executes.
Yep. I'm excited for them to get in the battlefield as well. I know everyone in chat is as well. Enough of us talking heads. We, of course, have predictions, which I'll quickly breeze through because you already saw it. Don't want to beat a dead horse there. Ryan and I, well, we both have Noble winning. All three of us have Noble winning. I take that back.
So.
No, all three of us have Noble winning in this one. Let's look at the winner's bracket matchup. So it's going to be pretty standard, pretty cookie cutter in terms of predictions. We all got Noble, but hey, prove us wrong. Pittsburgh Knights, vamos. Let's get it going in chat. Let us know who you want to win as well in the chat. Pittsburgh Knights, or do you want Noble to take it? Let us know your predictions. Let us know your thoughts. Make sure to tweet at us as well at Gears Esports as we are getting ready to launch this one. And guess what? we got our casters ready as well. We got Colin the Crow Clark and PR ready to take this one and call the action in our losers bracket semifinal. Take it away, gents.
Welcome in this morning, baby. It's going to be a good one over here on the caster desk. Jacob and I have been spending the last 35, 45 minutes just chopping it up, all the different angles, 105 billion different scenarios. I thought my man was Doctor Strange for a second with everything that he was saying might happen in this match. I needed to get started already, Jacob. I need it.
Yeah, I definitely need it, Colin. I can see you had 1, 2, 3 too many cups of coffee today. You're energized, ready to be. You got water. You got no. This is just natural energy.
It's just water this morning.
Eluding from Colin. This is Championship Sunday. We got the championship duo. Colin, we are going to bring the energy. We just hope. By God, we just hope this match lives up to the pay-per-view style matchups we were watching yesterday. Every single team was laying every fiber of their being onto that battlefield yesterday so they can have no excuses left behind. You have the Pittsburgh Knights, the analyst said it perfectly, struggling throughout the season to make it this far. They took advantage of the opportunity, and the opportunity continues to prevent itself against the Noble squad, who dropped yesterday. And this is the moment for PK to continue to assert themselves, to take advantage of a fallen Noble.
Well, I think the thing that you're going to have to take advantage of is the fact that Noble might be a little shaky on their confidence. That is probably one of the biggest defeats they've had to handle in the past few months, going up 2 maps to 0, having to close it out, and then just getting cooked for 3 straight maps.
Damn.
They need to come out here, and they need to come out strong. Already, they're going to try to just wolf pack across the hill. They went straight into the hill. They got that first kill, that first down, and they kept flying. Toti's going to get picked off by the torque bow, and Dezo said, oh my God, my friends need my help. Let me come out of the top middle of this map and rotate over here to the hill. He's going to shoot off at least 1 shot here. Looks like Xploidz and Dyslexic are going to have this left side. I actually really like this play by Noble, because what it's doing is it's applying so much pressure on that side of the map that it might give them a chance to get a free run to the opposite side. Double bounce in. Dyslexic misses the reaction shot there, and Fearzly, he's going to be left to a little bit of his own devices. If I am Noble, I'm starting to maybe even think about an early rotation here. You've already got 45 points.
When you talk about an early rotation, Toti has been floating around that side of the map for a while. Now he's rotating into the hill trying to help. Dyslexic is anchoring the backside as well. Chaoz goes down. Trades continue. Noble loses 2 players, but that's not too much to worry about, because the 2 players left alive will be able to advance and hopefully get towards that hill first. But Toti, I was going to say, he's setting up a sneaky play here. He's just going to anchor one side, allow the team to rotate on over, hold on to the high ground. That's the thing we've been talking about all season long when it comes to Reactor. When you're the defensive team, you want to force them to the low ground. So the side that Raver is on right now, along with Chaoz, or I should say that's Monkyz and Raver, they need to be able to attack, hold that side, because not only is it the high ground, but it's the spawn point as well.
Well, what I think they're also going to have to be concerned with is right now the Knights have to make a double push. And when you got to go with a double push, when you've spread your forces out, you have got to be precise with every shot you take, because if you lose one side of the map, it immediately allows your opponents to fully regroup 4-man strong and take out the other 2. Damn. We've got a 2v2 won by the Knights. Opposite side of the map, though, the 2v2 was won by Noble, so it becomes very split right now. It will buy a little bit of time for Noble to continue to hold on to the defensive stand here, maybe even get all the way up to 107-7, because they are just about 20 seconds away from that. You can see the Knights pushing back into the hill. Nobody from Noble's in the area to get this decap. Looks like Fearzly's going to try to poke up in there. Xploidz, though, that is a big misfire with the torque bow to get that kill onto Toti. Shoots out a second one, doesn't get that splash damage. Now Fearzly's going to get pressed down bottom. Knights know they have a little bit of an advantage here, and they're going to try to take advantage of that situation. They're going to go up top, trying to get these chunks. Dyslexic down, Fearzly down. Only one left in the area really threatening is Xploidz, and he's going to get taken out as well. Toti, for all of his effort, he's going to come away with that shock grenade and maybe be able to set up over the next one.
You know, they did get the majority of that time for Noble, and they're already rotating. They got the setup for next as well. I would say the Silver Lining Pittsburgh Knights, they're already attacking from that high ground portion to where they have that sponsor, the backside. So if they lose somebody early, they shouldn't. It wastes them time, but they don't have to worry about it too much, because it's not going to take them too long before they get back into the action, and it's not going to take too long before PK tries to threaten it. A great shock grenade is going to hold off for just a moment, forcing Dyslexic to rotate. All that positioning Monkyz going over to the PK as they finally get a down. They're finally being pushed back by Noble as they continue to rack up time. 20 seconds has been drawn off the clock so far. Pittsburgh Knights have a good spot, but what is a good spot if you don't do anything with it? A trade coming through. Finally, some moves are being made. The hill is going to be contested. Noble being dropped back. One frag grenade going out. That's just going to give Chaoz positioning because Fearzly saw it coming. Dyslexic's going to drop. Chaoz being forced back. He needs help, and he needs it now, and that's when it comes through. PK solidifies the hill, and 40 seconds up for grabs.
Great little rotation there by Monkyz to be able to help Chaoz out, not only get the down, but help get the pickup as well. Let's see if they can continue to hold on to this hill, continue to chip away at the lead. Yesterday, we saw that no lead was safe with Noble behind. They came back on that first map in control against the Pioneers, but here they have a massive point lead. Can they hold on to it, or will the Knights be able to slowly climb their way back into this one? They've already got one kill. Raver not able to get that revive yet, and then finally gets a double. Raver gets a big double in the hill, bouncing around. He's feeling it early. This morning, Collector's corn skin in the bank, baby. He looking so fine, doing it just like wine.
Yep, I said it yesterday in that matchup against EU United. If it wasn't for Raver, they're in the loser's bracket a lot sooner. And you saw it in that very next matchup. He had a very slow start, and it was a very tough match for the Pittsburgh Knights. They were finally able to get heated up, but that was on the back of Raver. So I think Pittsburgh Knights, if they don't figure out a way to continue to push and lean into Raver, they will not take the matchup. And I think for teams, specifically Noble here in this matchup, they have to worry about him. They have to make him a target point and try to neutralize him, but Chaoz uses that as a way to break through. 2 straight eliminations, going for 3 with the help of Monkyz. One more player left alive. That is going to be Toti, and he is going to be out. A full squad wipe for PK as they come back into this game, and if they get all this hill time, Colin, we'll have a tie ball game.
That was an incredible little play by Chaoz. If everybody at home takes note of what he did, the first frag separated the Torquebo player from his 2 teammates. The second frag fully separated all 3 of them, and then he picked them off one at a time. A reaction shot, a couple of hip fires. He played that to perfection. He did not allow them to play up close to each other and do what Noble does extraordinarily well, which is Wolfpack. You see the Knights now having to separate, and Noble, that's exactly how they're getting this retake to go, is the Wolfpack. The Knights have to continue to find a way to separate the forces of Noble, or they're going to continue to get boulder rolled like they are right now.
Yep. Just kind of looking at the mini-map, just looking for Raver for a second. He's rotating low side with Monkyz, and due to that fog, Toti's only able to spot out one. I wonder if he saw the first one, just didn't get the mark on it. That's going to be up to Dyslexic now as everybody's rotating on that side of the map. Pittsburgh Knights will be able to cement themselves first in the positioning, but that's why you see Monkyz and Raver trying to push up. They don't want to just teeter onto the hill. They don't want to turtle back. They want to make Noble fight for at least that 50% mark. That way, by the time they turtle onto the hill, there'll be no more utility left for grabs. Xploidz goes down, going for that Torquebo. Revive back up. Fearzly trying to be the hero, but on the other side of the match, they're getting overrun, outnumbered 4v2, and they're continuing to try to make that go around while simultaneously rack up the scoreline. Xploidz is going to be a big elimination as they take him down back to back as they get Fearzly. So Torquebo's out of play, and they have frag grenades, Colin, and they already racking up some points on this hill.
Yeah, they're in the hill. They're getting some points back. Still about 50 or so to go to get all the way tied up. Smoke is going to come out, and here comes the Wolfpack yet again. Noble all together now are going to be pushing down this back alleyway. First nade gets a double. Second nade gets a third. Dezo 3 to his name right there. That'll shut down the initial offensive retake by the Noble side on this hill. Knights cooking right now. Not exactly with peanut oil. They're just heating the pan up, boy. They gonna put a little bit of that butter down there and let that thing get nice and greasy before they throw Noble in there in the second half of this map. That's what they're planning on doing. Flashes out. Monkyz has to return to his teammates, and now you see the Lancers come back out. They're trying to get the damage to go like they did last time. Maybe a down or 2 might be able to disrupt this retake. Chaoz, picture perfect play on the up A. Now Dyslexic again. Chaoz baits 2 people into trying to hit him with an up A. He said, "You fools don't understand. I hit spreads, boy. I hit spreads like it was a charcuterie board."
Can I get some wine with that cheese? Is that what you're telling me right now? Because that's what he's trying to make Noble do. He's trying to make him wine. This is a run if I've ever seen one. On hill number 3, it was 114 to 60. Pittsburgh Knights, they're finding the picks yet again. Monkyz gets 2. Dezo finally gets flatlined by Toti, but that is just something right now. Dyslexic, he finds a hole. He breaks through. He takes out Raver. He's still causing some destruction. 2 more down. Toti's there just in the nick of time. It's a lending hand as Noble puts themselves on the hill, and this one is going back and forth. PK has given us a show.
That is a big sigh of relief for Noble right there to win that fight, be able to get over this hill. They've given up a lot of points here in the last 2 hills. They've given up a lot of positioning as well. Dyslexic tries to pressure off Chaoz. Almost gets clipped by that torque bow. Fearzly misses it high and right. Now the nades have been picked up by Monkyz. Monkyz is going to rotate those frag grenades over. They've used them pretty much to perfection to this point in the map. We see 2 more bolts in the quiver for Fearzly. He sees Chaoz misroll. He finally picks him up, though. Good job there on that shot. Neutralization on the hill. Monkyz with the first frag grenade will try to throw some damage out. They're not going to be able to get any. Here comes the second frag. Dyslexic, he's going to get caught by it. Toti, though, as well, full damage. Dyslexic has to back all the way up to the bottom side of the hill. And now here comes the moment. Raver pushes in. Big body shot. Big spreads. Flank starting to come through. They've got 2 more players trapped like rats at the bottom of the hill. Both of them beaten up and taken down. Chaoz, 1 more to his name. On to Toti. Next hill, we return to P1, boys. This is going to be big time because what they got to do is rotate over there and be able to get some shots on to that side of Noble. They've got him on the left-hand side. Beautiful cross by Monkyz right there. And the cleanup. Now Xploidz with a misroll there, bouncing around, trying to stay alive. Big body shot, but Monkyz takes the cubby corner. He gets the down. They clean him up yet again. Knights coming back into this one. They fighting it, boy. They fighting them off.
Yeah, but Noble, even though they did lose the hill prior towards the very end, they went on a the Pittsburgh Knights went on a 54-0 run. So that was a much needed hold for Noble, but Pittsburgh Knights once again teeter-tottering back, getting this first neutral hill back where it all began at the beginning of the match, back under their control. They're going to tie the game and take the lead back from this Noble squad as these 2 Latin American powerhouse teams fighting for the last chance, the last hope for the region has to crown themselves a champion and make history. Fearzly gets that first blood onto Dezo, and he's trying to go through with the rest of his teammates. 2 towards the left side. He's holding down the right. Another down going through. Dyslexic is there to save the day. Revives from Xploidz, and they force Chaoz in, and they take him out. 30 more seconds up for grabs. The lead changes hands yet again.
Toti, he's going to get down right there with the Lancer of Dezo. Dezo's going to clean him up quickly. It looks like the Knights are going to rotate over. They're going to pick up the torque bow. Knights going for an early rotation to this next hill. P2 over here. Bottom left corner of that mini-map. They're going to be top right corner, excuse me. They're going to be waiting on it. And look, you got a guy named Dyslexic in the chat. Oh my God, no, Raver! That's not good. Dezo, you better apologize. You better apologize and put 5 on it real quick. You better make that wound not so salty. You better say, I got you, brother. I'll buy you some candy. I promise you. I'll get you a bag of Skittles, what you like over here.
They're taking the high ground back. That's so important, that frag, even though it didn't get an elimination, getting that positioning away so that way they can't contest the hill. They get forced into a bad spot. Monkyz gets taken out. Dezo revving the torque bow. There's no targets available. He's forced to waste that one. The time is going to tick up for Noble just until they can get back in that spot, but Xploidz has 1 more frag. He tosses it just to get the positioning back. Noble is playing this perfect, using every bit of their resources to their advantage, funneling these members of PK out, but a great place flash grenade. That's going to get 1 onto Toti. A quick revive onto Dezo, but a flank coming through. Raver makes the play. Chaoz uses that as destruction, and Monkyz backtracks to get another one. PK will not go down without a fight.
Monkyz is going to be standing in the backside of that cubby. He's going to be waiting on this push. Chaoz sows his number a little bit too much, even tips his hand there. Has to be able to back all the way up as he gets completely shutted out by 4 different players from the side of Noble. Now Noble pushing down this back hallway. This is the area you have to try to get the retake on. And Chaoz with the up A gets 1, cleans up the second. 3rd and 4th fall like dominoes. Somebody slap the table. Tell them dominoes on that, baby.
Toti, I know you're talking about the game, but I'm just hoping it's pizza because I could slap the table and say the pizza's ready as well. I could do that for you, Colin, if you need it. As long as I can get a slice or two, maybe even 3, depending on how hungry I am, we can split that pizza. Half for me, half for you, 4 slices each. And while we call this action, Dezo is going to pick up that torque bow. Pittsburgh Knights still trail 10. Hill is going to change hands. This is a winnable hill for Noble, but we know, Colin, this is not going to be the hill that neither team wins it on.
No, not at all. Not one bit. This is going to be 65 seconds to go. Enough time for Noble to be able to win on it, but the Knights are right outside of it. The Knights are always constantly threatening. Dezo does pick up the kill there onto Xploidz, which will settle this down a little bit. Monkyz is in that cubby corner, keeping it neutralized. Active will hit the top of the stairs. It won't get any of that damage that they possibly needed. Dyslexic, though, even with the 2 big missed shots from Dezo, still goes down. Fearzly will get it down of his own. Crawls up, goes to the back A, gets 1. Up A, gets the 2nd down, but Knights have moved into the hill. They don't have enough time to get this win, oh, by howdy. They need 1 more kill. They got to get that kill real quickly. Worst case scenario, 2 points away, 3 points away. You bleed this all the way out, it's 3 points away, baby.
And I want them to bleed it all the way out because that way they just got to put a pinky toe in, win the game at the end, put the pressure onto the Pittsburgh Knights, and they know they cannot let this one go down to the wire. They have to, at the very minimum, contest this hill. Chaoz goes down, but only for a moment. He's back into the fray. Dezo goes down, but he's going to be out. Monkyz is going to fall. They still have a couple players towards the back line, but nope, not anymore. Chaoz goes down. Raver's doing what he can to stay alive, but he's going to get shut down as well. A full-on wipe. 20 seconds left to go for Noble. Pittsburgh Knights, they need a couple of team fight victories, not just one.
Noble's going to be mounted up right here at this hill. He's going to be shooting across. Xploidz is trying to set up 3 players for the Pittsburgh Knights already in the area. A flash comes across. Xploidz had a lot of damage here, though, to try to help out Dyslexic as Monkyz is caught in this 1v1. He gets a little bit of help from the 45, though, gets 1 down. Monkyz almost gets caught trying to come back into the hill. Now Dezo, he has to just kind of swerve his head, swiggle around. He's going to have to make sure nobody can get a shot onto him. We see multiple players coming in from all angles for Noble. They've come up the bottom stairwell. They're in the back of the hill as well, right in front of that hill. Now it looks like Chaoz is just trying to get those angles. He's trying to get a little bit of damage here, but Xploidz has the picture-perfect angle onto Chaoz. Chaoz might have to just leave the hill. You got to back on out to the backside. 2 downs on Chaoz. 1 more down, and he's out. But it looks like Noble, they're biding their time. They know as long as they either keep it neutralized or they stay in the area until about 10 to 20 seconds, they have a chance to still basically win this. There is enough time on the hill, though, opposite side for the Knights to be able to win it. Monkyz gets caught in the back A. Raver's going to try his hand on the Fearzly. Hits it with a bit of a spread. 2nd hip fire comes through. Still enough time. Noble has to keep it neutralized. Toti in. Toti with a big kill. Toti with a 2nd shot goes down. Dyslexic is there for the helping hand. Superman. They get the hill. 9 seconds to go. And Jacob, this is going to come down to 1 final push. Monkyz tries to get a touch. He steps up, but he gets shut down. He swung for the fences, but he got hit with a cutter, baby, and they strike him out, set him down. That's going to be map 1 all wrapped up for the Noble boys.
Yeah, that is just heartbreaking for Pittsburgh. That was such a close game through and through. On hill number 8, Colin, 238 to 230. The next hill, number 9, the score 52-1. Noble went on a run. They shut down Pittsburgh, only letting them score 9 points the following hill after when they went 290 to 239. The very ending portions of the game, Noble did it again. It started yesterday in that Pioneers matchup, which inevitably they did lose, but it was the last portions of the hill. They went on a 96 to 27 run to take game number 1 against the Kansas City Pioneers, and they do it again to start Championship Sunday. You got to think the vibes are at an all-time high.
You know what the craziest part of that matchup was for me? Not just that ending where Knights are fighting back. They're so very close to taking it away from Noble. Noble ends up finishing it off.
Which one was it?
There were 45 assists between Monkyz and Raver. 40.
I'm telling you. It's if a team, and it's way harder than it'll ever sound like. If a team can shut down Raver, possibly Monkyz as well, that is the #1 key to victory, but is the #1 hardest thing to do to a team. So, I mean, those guys are going to perform day in and day out. And now Pittsburgh Knights down 1-0. I wouldn't worry too much, though, Colin. I wouldn't worry at all. They've been down 1-0 in a lot of their different series, and it's map number 2, whether if it's Clocktower, whether if it's Tomb, hell, whether if it's Checkout. This is where they begin their comebacks.
I'm not going to lie to you. I still think my favorite highlights are watching Chaoz do like that little strafe walk type deal and just watching him like dare people to up A into him. Just my favorite. It's just my favorite, Jacob.
I think he's just been away from the game for so long, right? And the game has sped up so much. People just aren't used to that style of movement at all times of the game. They're used to, you know, the dyslexic style of play. They're used to, you know, Raver bouncing around. That when somebody kind of slow walks at him like that, kind of playing against the meta, I think it kind of catches some people off guard.
Especially if you can switch it up.
Yeah.
If you can switch it up mid-game, like if you can be able to pull that out of your hat when you know somebody's kind of trying to go on a big flank, a big tear. If you pull that out, next thing you know, somebody is completely caught off guard. They go down, and you give yourself a little bit of help because now your teammates, they still got you in the fight, and his teammates don't have him anymore. I really think that those are things that the Knights might be able to exploit going here in the next few matches. Not Xploidz, exploit a little bit because of the fact that Chaoz might be able to change up the momentum a little bit, change up the way that the play style comes through, and it's going to make some people guess a little bit. Like they're gonna have to second guess. Do I try to up A Chaoz? Am I about to just get my head blown off here?
And I like at the very end right there, that very final clip just goes to show Toti staying alive in that 1v2 situation, and not only staying alive, Colin, but getting the elimination. Because if they take out Toti there in quick succession, it's a 2v2 for the hill. They're able to turn around with enough time to defend themselves against Dyslexic and Xploidz. So it goes to show sometimes it's not necessarily what shows up on the stat sheet, but it's how long you're buying team time to get those reinforcements to go over. Because I mean, I'm talking about if they kill him in quick succession, even if he goes down without getting elimination but buys this time for his team to rotate over, they're still shooting him in the back. Dyslexic, Xploidz still have the advantage in that fight, and they probably still get those eliminations. But Pittsburgh, man, you got to hang your hat on the fact that you were able to come back. You were able to keep it close no matter what happened. So you got to be able to put that foot forward going into this next map on Clocktower. You got to be able to know there is going to be a change of strategy going out. You saw it yesterday. Dyslexic is not afraid to go down low. He's not afraid to go up top. And when he goes up top, he usually starts at the back line. He's not afraid to tell his teammates to move over, that he is not scared to take charge at any moment.
The big problem with Dyslexic on this map, in my opinion, is the fact that Dyslexic sometimes gets a little over-aggressive for his own good. There are times last night against the Pioneers where Dyslexic would fly to the back pillar to try to stop Zysho, try to stop whoever was trying to help Zysho out, and would get just chunked out. 2v1, 3v1 very quickly. And now all of a sudden, instead of it being a 4-3 situation, Noble's staring down a 3-3 because Dyslexic was the trade that Pioneers were able to come away with. They have to find a way to rein him in a little bit. Allow him to be aggressive, but not reckless. There's going to be a huge differentiating point between those two things. You can be aggressive, Dyslexic. If you get to prison and you've got a down, you've got a chunk, whatever it is, hold up. Pump the brakes. Don't continue to fly. Give us a second to readjust. One of the things that I think has made the Pioneers, Rise, teams like that so incredible at execution is their ability to readjust after a kill. Get a kill, wait for somebody to get into a different spot, then you can kind of flank somebody else out, or you force people out from that real estate. You say, we're going to take over the top side of the map, we're going to move all the way across, whatever it might be, but it's very contained. And Clocktower, especially because there's always a big team fight up top, needs to be able to stay contained, because we saw just last night with Noble, you get over aggressive, you get reckless, Noble fell apart. They started dying off, and next thing you know, they couldn't find their footing in that matchup against the Pioneers. They got to be able to do that against the Pittsburgh Knights. The Knights cannot be able to get that same kind of a momentum back away from Noble after an initial chunk.
Yeah, and I like the way you kind of talked about getting that initial chunk, repositioning, because sometimes you go in for that initial chunk, right? You don't get it. Everybody has to fall back. You have no utility left, and you're kind of stuck with information, trying to figure out how to make a play. And we were kind of trying to read it yesterday, when to go down low for those frag grenades to overtime, when to go over push up top. The timing has to be perfect in these matchups. You see Raver already pushing towards down low. He probably saw rushes yesterday with the performance he was having. How impactful those grenades were, but Toti up top in host spot, helping out Dyslexic for first blood.
Dyslexic down low, has the nades. He's going to try to rotate out here. I think he hit an X there. He got some damage with that frag grenade. Wasn't able to get a kill with it. Now we see Fearzly. He's going to be moving back up onto this ledge, and it's going to be a 3v2 situation. Monkyz on the flank now. Monkyz, 2 big shots, but he gets his head taken off by Xploidz, and now the hip fire shot from Xploidz doesn't connect. But all those hip fire shotgun shots they will finally settle it down. Little bit of a struggle there for just a moment where I really thought that Monkyz might be able to pull off that flank, get a kill, try to tie it up, give his teammate a little bit of a leeway to try to back off down toward the bottom of the balcony.
Okay, I like it. I like how Raver at least is trying to press down low. He's at least trying to take the game in his hands. With that front spawn, he's going to try to do it again. This time around, he's not going to be contested, so hopefully the call-out can be there, and you can already see the line of defense from the Pittsburgh Knights. Gets the mark. You've seen this grenade go from down low, but it has to be perfect. As long as they run past it, they're going to be A-okay. Xploidz gets the sniper, fiercely trying to survive, but he doesn't. That grenade comes in, but Raver doesn't have any more, so Xploidz, if he can find a headshot, even this one up, it'll be good, but Dyslexic gets over-aggressive. Colin, that's exactly what you were talking about.
I mean, it's going to continue to come back and bite them if they cannot get any of these kills to come through now, because it was a 4v3, now a 4v2. Toti and Xploidz, and Toti is basically, he's holding on to hope that Xploidz is going to be able to go big for him and try to get a headshot. Toti's going to switch out with him big down there. Toti's still left all by his lonesome down there because, well, as soon as Xploidz made it to the bottom of the map, one player was waiting in the wings for him to get that down, finish off that kill, and that is a picture-perfect round by the Knights. After their first kill, they readjust, and then you see Dyslexic get over-aggressive. They kill him, and now with a two versus four player setup, they rotate one person bottom, cutting off the exit route of anybody from Noble.
I like how PK kind of has Monkyz. They have Raver. They have a couple players that can lead the charge, and so does Noble, but more often than not, they put Dyslexic in that spot, or at least he puts himself, but you got to watch out for that cross from the top. Toti's putting that damage out. Raver's going to have to take a second, kind of think about it, and you look at your mini-map, everybody's making that push towards the top side of the map. The grenade goes up. Chaoz gets that down onto Xploidz, quickly revive back up. Grenade not able to get that same success as it did a few rounds ago, but a second frag going out towards the host spot, unable to find success again. 2 duds. That gives a massive advantage over to Noble, and that's where you see everybody going towards low. Raver tries to make a flank. He gets caught out, but he finds a way to escape. They push up top simultaneously onto that down from Monkyz, but nobody's finding success anywhere but Raver in that 1v1 down low. He gets taken out, traded out. PK pushes across up top. They find 2 more. 1v3 situation, and Monkyz gets the last one. PK go up 2 in a row.
Great job again. Another round in the book for the Knights. They have taken the lead here in this one, and they are seemingly very good, very dominant at a lot of the situations on this map. They're very good at being able to rotate around and get different looks, different angles on opponents when they were able to get secondary players into that host spot, push across, maybe even across that balcony. Let's see what they do here. If there's an answer from Noble, it needs to come right here, right now. Like I said last night, Noble to me is one of the best teams in the world at not giving up multiple rounds in a row on execution. Raver will pick up those nades. First nade's going to come out. Wonder if it'll drop down in Dyslexic's lap. It won't, but Dyslexic again, he gets aggressive. He stays on the top side of the host spot and goes down. Now Toti, he's going to be left alone here at the balcony. Raver on the flank. He's going to have a perfect damaging ability here. He's going to push everybody out of their spots. And I love the fact that he played back. He's not giving them a chance to breathe. He's forcing them into the last 3 players from the Knights. And then, oh, okay, never mind. I'll take a double kill with the frag grenades. What a picture perfect round. I could not imagine it going easier or better for a team.
That's another one of those Xbox records that just goes to show how much of a dual threat Raver is. He can go in with a shotgun, get massive multi-kills, cause destruction, but he can cause the same confusion and the same chaos from the backline while playing that Lancer. And he didn't get over aggressive after he knew the damage was there because he trusted his teammates, but he's continuing the trend, going down low. Pittsburgh Knights up 3-1, and he's throwing that same frag grenade. That's going to stop the aggression, or at least make them second guess all their movements. Only splash damage this time around, but you got a player trying to clean it up. That is going to be Monkyz. He's going to drop. Somebody makes it towards the back pillar. A perfect flash! A perfect flash! Chaoz takes advantage. A couple of downs. Dezo sneaks through. PK are just overthrowing their opposition. Another elimination onto Fearzly. Xploidz is backtracked, but oh my god, Colin, this is a chance for Xploidz to go huge. We know how accurate he is.
Oh, you saw him tracking for a moment. He was trying to find what side of that skull he was going to take off. 2v1. Xploidz, he's going to try to rotate out here. He's about to get sandwiched yet again. He has to pick a fight and go for it. He's going to double bounce right into Chaoz. Chaoz is going to back roll, play it defensively, and play it perfectly. They get the second shot on, get him down, they take him out. 4 rounds in a row for the Knights here in map number 2. And Jacob, one of my favorite things to say, I know you've heard me say it when you and I play together, Xploidz, he avoided that initial death on that back pillar by bouncing around, but everybody else that was trying to bounce around, stay alive, all that movement, it was for nothing.
Yeah, it was all for nothing. You saw Monkyz. I thought it was over for the Pittsburgh Knights when Monkyz got eliminated, but a perfectly thrown flash. I'm gonna have to watch the replay, know who to credit that to, but Noble not backing down. They're not scared to change up their strat. If they're gonna get a sniper for free, they're going to take it, but they're just trying to outlast those grenades. This time around, they do. As the dust settles, I'm gonna be looking at Xploidz to make a play, but coincidentally enough, I'm gonna be watching out for Dyslexic, seeing if he gets over aggressive, puts himself in a bad spot. As you see, the Knights are trying to go down low at simultaneously to grab that torque bow.
Xploidz, he's going to be mounted up top here. He has a great angle on a Dezo. If Dezo goes for that torque bow, or if he steps out from behind that car, he should be able to get tagged up well before he gets anywhere. Monkyz taking some of that attention off, trying to give Xploidz a reason to take some of those extra shots. Chaoz, though, gets a kill there onto Toti up top. Trades are abound. Monkyz is down. It's going to be 3 versus 2. Now 2 versus 2. Last 2 players from the Knights against Dyslexic. And I believe Fearzly, who's still on that balcony. He's just looking across. Dezo has to save some of his life here. All mounted up. Nobody's going to be able to take an advantage. Flash will come out. Raver's going to try to push into the situation. He's going to pick up that long shot. He now has the 5 shots that Xploidz left in it after he died. First shot out. It'll be missed. We are on round number 6. 30 seconds to go. Dyslexic is going to rotate down. It looks like Dyslexic might be going for those frag grenades.
Where's the hell at? You're the only person I trust in the world. I know you have your method of madness. Go ahead. You can say it out loud, too. Help us all out.
I don't want to say it, man.
Well, now it's
Oh, man, I'm just
in the middle.
So
they have the angles on.
I want to see a headshot. Jacob, give
They
me a
have
headshot.
the angles on the
Give it
side of
to me.
PK.
Let me have that headshot.
It's not going to come through. It's not going to come through. They don't have to. They
Don't
have frag
disappoint me.
grenades.
Don't disappoint me.
I'm sorry. You know how good I was at predicting it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What? Hey man, you ever seen?
I couldn't have predicted that. I couldn't have done
You ever
that.
seen like a crab's hand?
Oh my
You ever seen a crab's hand? You know what a crab's hand looks like?
I honestly, Colin, I don't know if you're baiting me
No,
because
have you ever seen
crabs
it?
don't have hands, but go ahead.
Well, have you ever seen a crab's claw? Is that a better way to put it?
yes,
Yeah, you've seen a crab's
yes.
claw. You know what they're in the shape of? A pincer, baby, and that's what it was.
He's got pincered. See, I knew I wasn't going to see a headshot. I thought those frag grenades would be more of an impact, but Dezo played it perfect. Once again, similar strategies coming out from both of these teams, but it's the micro adjustments that really make the difference. Monkyz trying to go past, this time attack the line. He takes too much damage, but it's just a bait and switch, a distraction for Chaoz. He takes out the sniper, but he falls. Him and Monkyz go down. Raver trying to make a flank. He's going to get taken out. It's all up to Dezo, 1v3, and he's going to get nothing for his efforts, but it's still 5-1. A 5-round streak is going to give him enough of a cushion where they can lose to a couple rounds, they can switch it up, and then try to catch Noble off guard later on in the same map.
That scoreline looks a lot like how Noble probably feels about this map. A little bit of a frowny face. You see that thing? He was all straight in the middle of one coming off. I mean, sorry, wasn't the happiest of faces, baby. I'll tell you that
Turn that
thing
frown
much.
upside down.
See what they can do here in round number 8, coming off a spawn. It looks like maybe the Knights are going to send 2 players down low, trying to go for those initial frag grenades. They're going to give up that long shot. There is no way that Noble's not going to try to press for that thing. Dyslexic actually is pressing across the top. He's in the prison now. Double downs onto Xploidz. They need one more. Dyslexic is up in their grill. He's going to get 2 shots on. He's going to get 2 downs and 2 kills to come through. Dezo the third one to fall. Raver, I love you. You're great. Grand, you're fantastic. I have faith in you to kill anybody, but not everybody right there. You go down as well. Now it's got like a smirk. Now it's like if they win like 4 more rounds, it's gonna be like a frowny into a smirk, man. That's what it is. It's gonna be a frowny into a smirk.
It's like my Kenny egg yesterday. That little smirk he had on.
You know how it is. You know how it is. Hey,
Yeah,
man, that thing got scrambled yesterday. That thing got scrambled.
It tasted good. It was a nice little lunch right there. I got a little bolillo bread, cooked it up, toasted it nice, got some bacon, put some pepper, some salt, a little bit of, other spices on there. Just 'cause, man, I throw down. I can't cook any fantastic meals, but my meals are fantastic. There's a huge difference, just like this flank. Toti, he gets out just in the nick of time. Down and elimination coming through for both of these teams. Dezo gets taken out on the side of Noble. Say that is going to be Dyslexic. Sniper still in the hands of Xploidz. He hits one in towards the jail, but they have the numbers. They get the down. Another down to come through. No trades. It's Raver, and that's the game for Pittsburgh. They've tied the series up 1-1 against Noble, and I've said it, Colin, and this has been the trend almost all weekend long. They lose that first map, but they keep it close. They keep it respectable, and they make sure they end it through and through. So that way, when map 2 rolls around, they have enough momentum to propel themselves forward to a tie game. Who's gonna take the lead? Don't go anywhere, because Noble versus PK map 3 up next.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the middle of our first matchup on Championship Sunday. It's the Pittsburgh Knights versus Noble, and it's all tied up going into the escalation. And Jacob, I feel like, both of us would probably agree on this. Escalation sometimes leans toward the more experienced team. Noble, they ain't made a team change in a while. Pittsburgh Knights, they just made one coming into the season, picking up Chaoz. Do you think that's going to favor Noble going into this map 3?
I think it's just right now it's coming down to how well both of these teams are playing. I think they've practiced enough throughout the split. They've had great tournament matches thanks to UMG and E-Days as well. But right now, this is not the PK we saw during the split. This is not that inconsistent squad. This is championship caliber PK. And this is what happens, that Noble did not prepare for this type of team to go up against. That's why you see them taking over these execution maps, taking over these teams by storm. 300, 248, 16-point differential in map number 1, 6-3, taking control of map number 2. Vasgar, you're seeing this resurgence of this championship caliber squad that I think a lot of these other top teams may have slept on. They may not have seen, but let me remind you, Colin, what both of these teams are fighting for. It's all that gold. It's all that glory at the end of the day. And for one of these Latin American teams, it's the first time you can really do one of these and just raise your head high as world champion. They needed a reminder.
You know how I know that wasn't the real world title belt?
What? How?
Because the real ones weigh about 35 pounds, and I ain't never seen you lift something that heavy over your head.
Bro, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Come on, boy. You knew something was coming. You knew it was going to happen.
All right. You're lucky I got this green screen behind me. I'll bust down 100 push-ups right now. That's the only reason, the green screen. The only reason.
I will give you $100 for every push-up. You start doing it right now in front of camera. Go on ahead. I'll double it up. $2 for
I will not sell my pride short for $100. Maybe 100 and lunch.
100 and lunch. I get these.
All right, I'm doing them. Oh, he did the flight. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, look,
5.
no, Pixar, it didn't happen, baby. Pixar, it didn't happen. We go to Vasgar, map number 3. This is the big horse track. I'll be curious to see if either team employ the E-United strategy, or if one team goes with the anti-strategy and puts down a long shot over at that tank. We've seen both of them implemented by multiple teams this weekend, just trying to out-rotate your teammates, or on the opposite side, being able to put down that power weapon and just win team fight after team fight. We come to round number 1, and it looks like we're going to have that standard 3v3, 1v1 over at the C side of things. Let's see who can take the initial advantage.
Uh-oh. Dezo goes in. He gets put through the blender of Lancer cross. Monkyz goes down trying to take it, but double revives. They're both back up. And they're both A-OK. But to highlight this 1v1, Raver versus Dyslexic. It was this very map against E United, but Raver clutched the 1v2 to keep PK's dreams alive in the tournament. And he continues and starts off, even though there was a slight cross. I don't know from which team, but he gets that first blood. He's going to go ahead and get this decap first. What he does after is entirely up to him, where he goes for the cap or goes for the straight flank like he's trying to do now. He only has a few short seconds before Dyslexic spawns and becomes a thorn in his side.
Oh, Raver's about to get crossed out from multiple angles. He's trying to wiggle waggle all the way up into 1 kill maybe. We can see a couple of neutralizations coming through around the map. It's giving the Knights an early advantage here, but that could flip on the script here very quickly. As long as Noble wins maybe one more fight, they can pick up B. They can come back off of the respawn and pick up their home hill as well. See them looking for multiple angles here to try to get that next kill, who would have been on Dezo, but Dezo's finally going to have some help. Gonna be in the form of Chaoz. Now Raver. Dyslexic will throw that flash across, try to get that damaging shot out onto Raver so that he has to think twice about pushing into this. But Dyslexic holding his ground here, just being an absolute brick wall for anybody to be able to push back against.
Yeah, and I like it. You can already see in your mini-map, they sent 2 players off that initial towards the top side, or I should say off of that respawn. And that one of the players was Toti overextending. They knew Pittsburgh Knights had their home hill, so a logical choice would be fight for that neutral. So now Pittsburgh Knights, they have to go forward. They have to continue to wrap around and bring this into 2 separate 2v2s. One side of the map is going to be defensive. The other side of the map is going to be offensive, and that's why you see Chaoz rotating over. They're trying to take this 3v2. Watch out for Xploidz, though, because he's going to be that flank in the middle.
Raver waiting for the right time to maybe push up against the 3v3 here. Xploidz has the perfect 90-degree angle here up the top of the stairs. He's going to be able to down anybody that goes into the hill. Dyslexic waits for the up A, kills one on the ramp, goes for an up A himself, but Chaoz folds him like a chair, baby, and puts him down yet again. B-Hill, the only one capped up by the Knights. Now it looks like Noble is going to start pushing forward, and Toti tries to rotate into that B-Hill, but he gets caught with 3 big spreads. He goes down. Dezo, he might have to wait for some help here. There's going to be 2 different players pushing over to the C-Hill, so it's going to be a 3v3 on one side of the map, maybe a 1v1 opposite. Toti will be coming off spawn. Let's see if Toti decides to join his teammates over there at the C fight, or if he's going to continue to try to take this 1v. Monkyz. Decent shot here on the Fearzly. Second shot misses. Tries to hit Dyslexic with a full spread. Won't be able to get the down, but there's a trade. Who can get to the revive first? Xploidz is going to go for 1, as well as it looks like Raver, and they both get him off. But now Raver and Monkyz have to back up onto this box cover. They actually might have to boogie out of here and get up that hill. They've got one player running for A hill. It's going to be Dezo. Can Dezo get there in time to keep them in the lead? The decap is there. The Lance of Fire is true for Dyslexic, but will Dyslexic fade out the up A? They get the 2-to-1 hill cap back in their favor. He goes in, he gets a neutralization, and that might be enough, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it could very well be enough. The hill's there, but not in time. It's not enough. Knights, they take round number 1 here in map number 3.
Yep, that is going to be a big victory to continue to build that momentum after a 6-3 victory on map number 2, and a couple perfect plays coming out from Raver. He starts off big into this one, a 1v1 against Dyslexic. His choice afterwards, Colin, we're not going to talk about that one. We're not going to talk about he put himself in one of the worst positions because of this team. He got him out of that. Monkyz pushed forward past the tank. A couple players was able to get those eliminations and keep the Pittsburgh Knights in the lead. When it comes to weapon selection, because this is still Escalation, it's standard as possible. Bold talks first round, maybe some retros, then you get shock grenades. From there on out, maybe there's a weapon in middle field, depending on how both these teams feel.
We'll hear the spots come out. Everybody kind of trying to figure out where that push is going to come from. Knights will have the 2-to-1 hill advantage early, but they are getting threatened over at their home hill. 3 players deep. Dyslexic will drop down. Some damage. Fearzly, he's going to go down. Dyslexic quickly rotates over, gets the pick onto him. Dyslexic back into the cubby corner, trying to get this cap off. Once he gets it, it's going to force the Knights to eventually make a decision here. Dyslexic gets it down onto Raver. Quick revive comes through. Raver has to rotate down. Curious where they're going to put their forces, where they're going to pressure out at. Over on the opposite side of the map, Dezo might be locked up in a 1v1 against Xploidz. As long as Dyslexic has this shot here, this is This is going to be very interesting simply because he can damage anybody a lot as they come in. Chaoz goes for maybe an up A, rotates back. Now it's going to be Raver taking the front side of this horn. Chaoz will go down. Nobody's there to back him up. 2 down and dead. Now the third, Monkyz. He's going to be lancered out heavily by Toti. Dyslexic needs one more shot and gets it to go. Dezo, he's going to try to fight this 1v, but Xploidz is going to shut him down on the backslide. Won't be able to give that up to him. Possible triple cap domination being threatened here by Noble.
Last hope's gonna be Chaoz. It's a good hope, and may say so myself, but not this time around. Immediately gets shut down. Raver had to stop for the decap, but he wasn't able to lend a helping hand. Now another mad dash. At least the resets are gonna come in, but the downs as well. Dezo falls. He's gonna drop. One more player is trying to stay alive as long as possible. That's Monkyz in the smoke, but a triple cap again. Chaoz was able to get the reset, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They need to start picking up the trades, and Raver knows it's not worth the effort. 1:41. Noble ties us up to stop the momentum build. I don't think it was enough to take away from the momentum that PK was built, but it is going to stop it in progress.
Progress will be halted for just a moment. Retros will come out for both squads now as well. See what they can do in this situation. Looks like the Knights are going to have an answer. It's right there. They traded out. They won the arrivals. They lost the checkpoint. Now they're back over at the arrivals side of things. Excuse me, is Noble. Both teams having 1 round under their belt at this point. It looks like Noble's going to go for a full stop over towards Sea Hill, and I believe Raver's called that out, and Raver's like, they can have it. I don't need it. It's not that important. It's a cool hill and all, but I don't really need to stay there this entire time. So we will see what the Knights decide to do here. Is it looks like Noble, they went with the overload. Now they're going to back up and play some defense. They already got 1 down thanks to Fearzly's Retro. Retro out in Fearzly's hands is an utterly devastating weapon. Got 1, got a ton of damage. Now he's going to rotate back. He's going to set up yet again for some more damaging shots, just making sure nobody gets a free run into that hill. Remember, lady, the reasons the Retro is so powerful. Larger caliber bullet, slower rate of fire.
Okay.
It's got a shorter barrel, though. So it's not as accurate at distance, but that thing will shred you as you come in. Also, it ain't got a chainsaw. It's got a beautiful bayonet. Remember, you can get yourself 5 on a stream if you hit me up after you get one.
Has anybody cashed it in? I know we've seen them, but I don't know if anybody's cashed it in.
This split, Kenny has still not cashed in and is still awaiting the largest payout. Rocky has, and
I'm cashing in for both of them.
I think Escalation did cash in as well.
Nice shots from that Retro you're talking about. Basically the reason for defeat for both Monkyz and Chaoz. Dyslexic goes down, but Dezo and the members of the Pittsburgh Knights will continue to drop. I will say they were able to get their home hill back, but only for so long, as Toti is going to overextend, get that neutral hill, and get some reinforcements as well. So the Pittsburgh Knights, at this point in time, I have no reason to believe they need nothing short than a squad wipe to come through in order to win this round.
I take that back. TJ also did. I had to check my PayPal. TJ also claimed his $5 during a Pro League match. It was like literally immediately. It was like he did it and then DM'd me. I remember it happening because it had me in stitches that night. I'll tell you that much. Just like Toti has a couple of players from Pittsburgh Knights in stitches here. You see a couple of players from Noble trying to push back into that B hill, trying to stop the Knights from going for the decap because they are already up over 200 points, and the Knights need a full send and a full wipe to win this round, but getting shut down at B pretty much guarantees the round will go over to Noble, and we will have a 2-1 round count lead for Noble going into the last round of the first half. Monkyz, he's caught between a rock and a hard place. He's going to go down.
Pittsburgh Knights, I told you, it's something about keeping that map #1 close, keeping it respectable, having it in the back of your head. It's like, hey, a few mistakes, a few audibles, a few adjustments, we could have been up 1-0. They go into that map #2. We know how they've been playing on execution all season long, especially all weekend long so far. That boosts their morale. That shows them that round after round, they can take it to their opponent. These are contenders as well, you know, that they're going up against. And that goes to show that once you build a certain amount of confidence in yourself, it's only a matter of time before you're able to kind of bleed that over in towards your gameplay, especially when it comes to players like Raver, who are needed for the team's success.
In this round, Noble's going to leave 2 players at the Sea Hill to try to defend maybe against this 3-man push from the Knights, and now they're going to rotate a 3rd one over, so it's going to be a full defensive stand here by Noble. They're going to try to shut down the Knights as they come in. Monkyz tries to slide into that cover, get a little bit of damage onto Dyslexic, but Dyslexic, he has not been tagged up yet until finally, I believe, somebody came through the middle of the map to be able to tag him up. That was Dezo. Toti tries to return fire, but it's not going to be good enough here in this situation. 2-1 hill cap will go over to the side of the Knights. Toti, though, great shots there. He is able to keep 2 people at bay with just a Lancer. He's going to throw out a flash toward the right side, get at least 1 stun off, or try to anyway, before he rotates out to save his life in the situation. Looking for a retake here. Middle of the map. Home hill of Noble going already back into their favor, so they will keep the point lead here because of the 2-1 hill cap, and the Knights yet again are forced to make another decision.
I will say, even though a couple of times they're forced to make these decisions, more times than not, it's a right decision. Unfortunately, this is not going to be that time. All 4 members down and out. Luckily so, before the half, 3-0. The momentum is continuously being built here for Noble. And I gotta ask you, what do you think are the biggest key differences? I know the game mode from Clocktower to Vasgar, but what are the big key differences in the gameplay?
Right now, I think the biggest key difference is that Noble has really taken away the aggressiveness of the Knights away from them. Noble normally on control, they pride themselves on the wolf pack. When it comes to execution, Dyslexic usually opens things up for them with a bit of an aggressive play. But here, I see a Noble that's very methodical. They're very much a surgeon on Vasgar right now. They're picking apart the strategies of the Knights, whether the Knights want to overload one side, go for a 3-man offensive push, and you see Noble just stack up 3-man defensively, go for have the other guy cap the hill up or win a 1v. This has been a very interesting round simply because we now see that with that tank fight coming out, second half breaking out as well. We're gonna have a big flank here in just a moment by Noble. Dyslexic has all the damage in the world. He's going to send everybody kind of careening and screaming around the map, but with Fearzly going down first, that could give the advantage right back over to the Knights. All this damage could be for naught for Dyslexic. Up to 12k. Look at that damage counter just racking up right now for Dyslexic, but they're going to get their home hill taken over momentarily as their respawns come out. Toti and Dyslexic here trying to keep a pincer on. They're trying to keep them squished between both sides of the coin. Looks like, though, they're just going to have to reset, go for a 2-1 hill cap with the mid-neutral hill and their home hill F.
And luckily for them this time around, Dezo has the sniper and immediately puts it to use. PK really need to start digging deep. I know the bag of chips is full of air, but if you dig deep enough, sooner or later, you're going to find a Cheeto. Dezo looking across the map. 2 marks. He knows 2 players are there. 2 possible headshots. He lets 1 escape, but he has to watch his back. 2 players are trying to threaten his home hill. Chaoz is there, but everybody's rotating over. They're trying to play the team game.
It looks like Dezo now will be holding down the D hill by his lonesome with just the long shot. Sees one of them possibly coming in, hits a shot there on the body, but it's not going to be good enough to do anything other than maybe get it down if he gets a secondary body shot. But on the opposite side of the map, both players from Noble have died off. The E hill is going to be taken over by the Knights. And the Knights have kept this thing close enough that they have a chance to kind of squish out these last few players here, try to get their home hill back, and then hold on to the home mid-neutral spread. Big kill by Fearzly. Triple cap domination will be interrupted, though. 2 players die for Noble. 1 player dies for the Knights. That'll be waiting for everybody to come back off a respawn. A big 1v1's about to break out over at the E hill now. Monkyz is actually backing out of it. He's disengaging from Toti, allowing his teammates to try to win a fight here at the tank hill as 3 members from Noble come off the spawn. Raver, though, big bolt-talk shots will set Dyslexic back on his bellet. Now they're going to be able to push forward, but he goes down. Quick revive is out. Back A from Raver gets 1. Second shot will get the down. Now the third gets the kill. Raver, he's satisfied with that. He says, look, I don't need to do much more. I even it up a little bit. I get another kill here. I give my teammates on the opposite side of the map a chance to take over their 2v1. And now they need to push up onto F, maybe. They're going to have to get another kill here, I believe, onto Toti when he comes off a respawn, maybe even on a Dyslexic, because I'm not sure, but no, they have enough time. There are only 10 seconds left. They have to get a decap here, and he does Noble. Noble has to push in right here, right now. They're going to get somebody on the hill. Toti tries to roadie strafe in, but it's not going to be in time. Pittsburgh Knights, they're going to answer back here. It's going to be a 3-2 round count. It's still in favor of Noble.
I was even saying that that tank fight, even though it did seem a little successful for Noble, there's no weapon there. There's nothing really worth it. Besides, right at the time, there was no weapon there. There's nothing really worth it. There's no hill over there either. Not the first half anymore, so they need to continue to push forward while simultaneously they lost that neutral fight. I don't know if it was a 2v2, 2v1, either way. it was Pittsburgh Knights left standing at the end of the day. And you can see Ensigns being the choice. Ensigns versus Shock Grenade. That's something we've seen a little bit more and more this season. Colin, can you break that down for me?
Well, I think you're going to see those Ensigns versus the Shock debate always in the idea of, do you want the Instagib or do you want crowd control? Instagib is you land that incendiary, you get the immediate kill. Yes, it's going to leave fire there, but it's such a big, bright flame in front of you. You kind of understand where it's at. You understand that it's not as great of an area of effect, so you don't really just give up the easy path out of there. With the Shock Grenade, the size of that ring that electrifies to get those downs is true area denial. You run into that thing, expect to go down quick, fast, and in a hurry, and it acts as a stun. If you're in the Ensign, you can still shoot back. You might be taking damage for a second or two, but you might be able to pull the trigger and get it down, maybe even get a chunk. With the Shock, you're stunned and you're taking damage. It is a true electrifying experience for anybody that's ever been caught in one.
Oh, down on Xploidz. Monkyz goes back to back because he got the headshot on the Toti. There was a rotation made, but I do believe that was Dyslexic on that revive player. He was unable to get the revive, and now he loses the positioning as well. Triple cap domination. Both of these players have to find a hill. They lose one on the neutral. Two players are trying to break it, make it three as they give it up on the side of Pittsburgh as they're trying to live. They're trying to find another day, especially for Monkyz as he turns, takes out one. As long as he can stay alive with the sniper, this will be a win for Pittsburgh.
Monkyz is backing all the way out here toward the F hill. He's trying to stay with that long shot. He's got 3 shots left in it. The E hill has still stayed in favor of Pittsburgh for the moment. Monkyz is looking to trade out that long shot. They're going to switch out Lancer for long shot here. Dezo's not going to have it. And Dezo's going to back up toward the home hill. You'll probably see another 30 or 40 seconds before that next long shot will spawn. So this next, there's the insta-gib capability I was talking about, by the way, with Chaoz, where Chaoz throws it straight onto the feet of Xploidz and gets that kill. 4 seconds to go before he comes back off the spawn. You see 3 players from the Knights starting to push up now. Toti will get down. Dyslexic is right there, though, for the trade. Both of them, though, will get taken out. I believe somebody's sneakily waiting at the back of the tank, but he's going to get called out. I believe Fearzly now gets lancered from Raver, who had the 90-degree Xploidz, rotating as fast as he can over to the E-hill to prevent the triple cap domination. They will still give up the 2-to-1 hill cap. Meanwhile, Xploidz, all he's trying to do is keep the points accumulating for Noble to keep them in this round.
You can see again, Pittsburgh Knights, they don't want to take a fight that they don't have to. They backtrack off of that hill knowing they have a 2v1 on the other side of the map. They're constantly rotating and playing the team game. They're playing into their numbers and they're taking as many advantages as possible. Unfortunately, those advantages are going to run out as Monkyz goes down, but Raver, there's a double down, and Ensign to burn as Chaoz comes in and causes just that. 4 are dead. Pittsburgh Knights have tied us up.
They have made this an interesting map number 3, to say the least, as we go to 3-3 now. Noble, they're starting to struggle with that long shot down. The big team fight off of the initial. It's a lot like how Execution was playing. The Knights are starting to dominate that team fight and then force Noble to make a secondary decision off of respawn. We will see here what the Knights want to do. It looks like they're going to go straight for their own retro, upgrading that Voltok into one. If I'm Noble, I don't know if I upgrade that retro. It could be very useful here.
And what do you do?
Put something down at helicopter, spread the forces. You don't want to win a team fight. You want to be able to win a 2v2. You were able to win them all first half long.
You want to give Raver a chance to do something? Ooh. Ho.
Hi, Jacob. My name is Colin, and sometimes I'm not an idiot. Most of the time, I'm still an idiot.
We throw a big weapon down, and we make teams choose.
Yeah, you want to make them choose here. Look, again, the Knights are going to full send at that long shot. They're not even going for the M-bar. But what they've efficiently done here by putting that M-bar down is they're creating a 2v2 situation. Toti's going to get absolutely just rolled here. He's stuck between a rock, a hard place, Dwayne Johnson, and Mount Rushmore. Dezo's going to be able to pick that long shot, but look how long it took everybody to get to that position now. Dyslexic has the M-bar over here, and he's got 5 shots left in it. Those body shots with the active will stun. He has a chance for headshots, but triple Lancers. Holy cow, baby. That took a quick chunk out of the life and liberty of Dyslexic and took him straight down. We see Chaoz. He realizes that he's not in the best of positions and he has to rotate away now, but with that spread, with them being able to buy time at the long shot, has bought them a 2-to-1 hill advantage. I think they still have the M-bar in their hands. Are they able to pick it up? No, they're not able to find it on the ground. So the M-bar's off the map, the long shot's off the map, and now it's just back to neutral. It's back to default weapons minus the 2 retros that are in the hands of 1 or 2 players here on the map. And now it's going to force the Knights to make a decision.
Yep. And it's one of those decisions that this late in the game, it's tied up 3-3. We're over 130-point mark for one of these teams. This decision could win or lose you the rest of this round. So they have to be precise. A great flash grenade is going to force Dyslexic back, even get him to take that first shot. He's basically dead to rights here. That's going to be Monkyz pushing up on him. Toti's there just only to get the down. Quickly revive back up. So you know that neutral hill, it should change hands. But Pittsburgh Knights know they need more. They smell blood in the water. And if they don't get this decap and capture in time, they're going to need a triple neutralization followed by a squad wipe in order to win this round. So Noble, they have everything going for them. They have a chance to set up defensively and really not make a move.
2-to-1 hill cap is switched over to the Pittsburgh Knights here, and Noble, they've got a decent lead and they have the win. They have the win condition, so they don't have to move whatsoever. Like you said, they can basically force the Knights into a final fight over there at the F hill. Knights waiting for the respawns of some of the power weapons for just a moment. There's one in the hands of Monkyz. Dezo wins a big one shot against Toti, and Dezo will be off to the races. It looks like maybe Dyslexic in the middle of the map is trying to buy time for his team, maybe even go for that over rotation here. But here at the F hill, that's the big fight. That's the one that you got to be worried about. This Monkyz has to stay alive long enough to make for them to go for that decap, but they don't get it off. Xploidz long shot in hand. Any headshots here shuts it down. That's going to be all she said and done. No way, no how the Knights have enough time, spacing, or advantage to win this round. Noble, with the secondary weapon placement, they even the odds and they take the advantage. They go up 4-3, 1 round away from taking a 2-1 map lead over the Knights.
You know I screamed at him multiple times yesterday, Ribs calling him wrong. But at this point in time, I think he's never been more right in his life. Pittsburgh Knights have the best chances to win on that game number 5, but they need to force it there. I don't think they're going to win in game number 4. They have to win this one here, or Noble will take the series in my eyes. So this is the biggest 2 rounds of the tournament for the Pittsburgh Knights up until this point.
Can you say do or die?
Do or die.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
I would sing a little bit better, but man, after screaming as much as I do, I think my voice is going finally.
You gotta stop trying to match me, dog. Look, let me lose my voice. All right, you're the smart one. You're the
you don't
smart
have a
one.
1 out of 10. I have a 1 out of 10. You have a 10 to 100. You start at 10.
I have a 10 to a. That's the maximum it goes.
Dezo Knight on 10 though. First blood. Gets the M-bar. Raver finds himself in a tough spot though. Great shot on the Xploidz. He's trying to battle back, but Xploidz just needs to hit 1 more. But Dezo Knight saves the day. He took out Xploidz. Even if he can't get this elimination, he needs to be careful. That M-bar is so impactful. Already 2 hills captured, and they got distracted. Monkey to Chaos. A worst time to miss. Dezo Knight, it doesn't matter though. You can make up for it. You get 1. You miss the second one, but you have the angle, and you hit the 3rd. Dezo Knight is going absolutely crazy right now. Shock grenade towards the backside. Pittsburgh Knights force a round number 9. I need water.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jacob. I'm starting to think that Dezo Knight is the flank king. I know we were talking about Kenny all weekend. No, look, I don't care. Every time you and I cast over the Knights, at some point in the match, we're talking about Dezo Knight on a big flank with a power weapon, and it's like nobody realizes he's there until it's way too late for everybody involved.
Where's Dezo Knight? Oh crap!
It's like Mr. Krabs picture, man.
Ooh, round number 9. We got a lock for the shock. And a lock for the shot. We got ultimate kill potential. And honestly, that puts so much more pressure because you can miss a shock and it still do something like you were talking about, damage, maybe having to run through an edge of it. If you miss an instant and you don't get that AoE, that's a waste.
Got to be picture perfect with it when you decide to throw them. Once again, the Knights, they're going to go for the overload here at the long shop. All 4 players in the area. Dyslexic is going to pick up the M-bar. Toti's going to bounce around, try to go for a wrap. He's going to get shut down by Monkyz. 2v4 on this side of the map with Dyslexic coming in maybe a little bit late. Dyslexic's actually going to go through the middle of the map. He's going to go for a sneaky angle here with the incendiary.
Do it. Woohoo! No cap for you.
Burning them up right now, boys. Dyslexic with the Incendiary gets one. Now we staying in the middle of the map with the M bar, just trying to find an angle on anybody pushing into that hill. Don't peek. Don't peek.
That literally that slight inch. He gave him a hair and he took advantage.
If
I'm gonna give you a haircut,
bad
buddy.
things gonna happen, baby. Bad things gonna happen. Poor Major Paddock. That man ain't done nothing to nobody except fight against the coalition of ordered governments for Queen and Country back there in the UIR.
Oh,
don't peek. Don't peek.
No, don't do it.
I'm so scared.
That mark,
I'm so
though, that
scared.
mark was perfect. Slowly getting backed off, but Dezo is just
Yo, did you see that M-bar shot fly over Dezo's head? Did anybody else see
I don't even
that?
think he saw it. He didn't even see it. He's just like,
What happened, though?
It goes down, though. Him probably taking that shot cost him his life. Monkyz extends. He gets the neutral hill back, so still 2-1 with already a lead in the favor of Knights.
Dezo waiting up top, looking for a little body shot onto Toti. Now looking for one onto Fearzly. He's going to check both of them. Looks like Noble's actually trying to readjust, maybe go across the map, back over to the E hill, try to take an advantage there, but it's going to be another 1v1 because down at the F hill, somebody has to rotate back and go for a revive. Toti will trade out with one. Monkyz waiting here at E for anybody to pressure up against them. Dyslexic is trying to find Monkyz here. Dyslexic, I'm not sure if he knows. There's the flash. Doesn't get the stun. Monkyz doesn't take the cubby corner to go for the back A. He just goes for a spread there as he steps out to the left-hand side. Back A that time, full body spread.
Can't go, though.
He doesn't have enough damage, and he doesn't have any help here. Slides into him, gets the up A. Monkyz goes down. Hill will be traded out. Meanwhile, it's a 2v2 over at the F Hill. 1v1 over here at the E. It doesn't flip the win condition, though. Doesn't have to push. He does have plenty of spacing here, and Chaoz knows that he's going to might be getting left behind. He has to back up. It's a 3v2 over here, 2v1 over at the E-Hill. The 2v1 has to be won very quickly because now they've left Chaoz by himself in the situation. Curious if they get... I don't know why they didn't send somebody to get on the hill. They're going to go straight for the kill here. My man went for barbecue and Sunday like it was after church. He took him and an opponent with him. E-Hill swapped over. D-Hill swapped over. 20 seconds left to win this bad boy. 3v1 of the D-Hill. Will they step up into the hill and go for the neutralization early on this one? Xploidz is going to get that kill. There's the quick decap over there at the E-Hill. D will get triple capped momentarily. It's in. It's good. 5 seconds to go. They got to get on the hill here in the next 2 seconds. Nobody's there. Not in time. Not enough. Pittsburgh Knights. They roar back. They win it. They take the advantage. 2-1. Going into map 4, Jacob. Boy, howdy. This ain't a disappointment in any sense of the word.
No, this is just the resurgence. They may have said, you might have forgot about us along the way. No, but we gave you a chance to shine. Rebel, you know what? We'll give you a little bit too, but Pittsburgh Knights just mere losses away from getting relegated. Now mere rounds away from advancing to your losers finals in our first major of the season.
Pittsburgh Knights in that map alone, between two players, I think it was Monkyz and Chaoz, 32 assists, 53 assists overall for the four-man roster. They are helping each other tremendously throughout the entirety of the map. They might have lost that first control, but that gives me cause to pause for Noble, because Noble continuing on with heavy shotgun fights, heavy shotgun strategies, and wolf packing around. Whereas the Knights, to me, they are not coming off their game plan. Help each other, shoot for each other, make sure nobody goes into a true 50-50 fight or a true 1v1. That is the thing that might come back to save them in these next two maps.
Yeah, and honestly, you talk about that first control. Remember, hill number 5, there was a 0-54 run PK was on, but it was at the very end. They got 1 point throughout 2 different hills, and that was what did Noble over PK to take that map number 1. So this really could have been a 3-0 series for the Pittsburgh Knights. And for them, they could have all the confidence in the world thinking that. But in the back of their head, they need to know to close out this series. You need to put one foot in front of the other, take it step by step, and really close it out. Because now you're going back to control. You know how deadly this Noble squad can be on control, and specifically Speyer. We saw how they were able to dismantle E United yesterday on that same exact map.
Well, what we're going to see with a lot of these highlights is what we talked about. Noble with the Wolfpack, a lot of players for them together in a lot of these fights. I think the biggest problem for them was the fact that when they split the map up, when they saw that the Knights pressed 4 players over to the long shot, they stayed in the fight, kind of overstaying their welcome rather than kind of backing up, going for angles, going for downs and damage. They stayed right up into the grill of a couple of different players and weren't able to get...
Got one.
Hey, man.
Inches.
Hey, man.
Inches.
Also, my man Dyslexic right there. That's just blatant disrespect. That is just blatant disrespect. He said, I can't wait to watch you miss this shot. I can't wait.
This is just a hard-fought battle through and through between both of these teams. A 3-1 lead into the half, just squandered by Noble. And I always ask this question to kind of everybody. I know some players have a tendency of being able to shrug it off. Do you think that does anything mental to this Noble squad? Or do you think it would, because it was still a close game, they could just shrug it off just as easy as everybody else?
I mean, I think Noble looks at it the way that you do, or looks at it the way that I think you would as a player, Jacob. Noble knows how good they are at Speyer, and Noble knows how good they are at Tomb. I think they look at it simply as we're down 2-1. We got to win 2 maps. We just got to win 2 maps now. I almost feel like there's a big chance for Noble to be looking at this basically as, hey, we're going into a fresh scrim. We're going into a best of 3 fresh scrim against the Pittsburgh Knights. The rotation we got is Speyer, Tomb, and then just make up a 3rd map. Doesn't even matter. They can say Harbor's the next map for all I give a god dang. I think they got to look at it that way and say, we're going to go 2-0. We're going to win this best of 3. We're going to move on with our lives because they are extraordinarily good at Speyer. They're great at spreading the numbers of the Knights, especially on a map like Speyer, which will stop the Knights from being so very good at shooting for one another. You'll close out those Lancer lanes, you'll close out those snub lanes, and you'll be able to get easy kills, easy pickups. Okay. Tomb is a different animal to me because Tomb, we've seen Pittsburgh Knights go absolutely nutty buddy on. That's going to be highly contested. So I think right now, if you're Toti and the boys from Noble, focus up like a best of 3, try to win 2 maps back to back, look at it that way, but you got to start right here on Speyer, and you got to play your game, cut the sight lines, play into the hills, force the Knights to be uncomfortable.
Yep, you can already see how those side hills go down. I think that's where the Noble squad yesterday was finding a good portion of their success. They were doing a good job of breaking through the defenses, going around through spawn. They were able to hold on when they were on the offensive things, or I should say the defense themselves, racking up those score lines, being able to neutralize that United squad away from the hill. That's the big thing about this Noble squad, and something I think the Pittsburgh Knights squad did very, very well on that first map, even though they did lose it. They were taking the fights away from the hill. That way their opposition has to use their utility. They have to use everything they had or have, or at least show their hand in order to get that neutral position back. That way Pittsburgh Knights can just continue to roll back just like they did on that escalation and then play on the hill itself. That is the biggest thing I think for Pittsburgh. Continue to play in your team game because that has shown to find so much success throughout these past 2 days.
It's going to be a very difficult thing to do for the Knights. This is an uphill climb because, in my opinion, the Knights, they don't have the advantage on this map. Noble, to me, has been so ungodly good on this map, all split long, really. When people have played against them, they're able to just completely rotate around the map, outshoot their opponents, and build these massive leads on people. The initial always is a little bit funny to me, whether you make the decision to go for the hill and the nades, or if you send one person over to maybe go for that drop shot over there. It's always a little awkward because if you send somebody over to the drop shot, you got to play more defensively at the hill. If you send all 4 players up there and you're not sure what you're running into, you might be in a big team fight thinking that you're about to have to, get a bunch of kills back to back to back, but you don't get anything.
Drop shot to start this game off, though. Be in the hands of Dezo. I'd say PK, this event compared to the regular season in that first split, so much more effective when it comes to their power weapon usage. Grenades, drop shot overall. This is going to be another chance, but you can't waste it. That's going to be a narrow hallway, and especially that angle. I would hate to see him waste it with that angle. You want to try to go to that straight arm. That's going to give you a more chance at success. Throws it out and even gets a down. I don't know if that was splash damage, but wonderful, effective drop shot to start the game off.
He was going for the double, ends up getting a chunk and a down, which is fine. It's going to trade out the hill. Dyslexic is going to be coming up into the front side here from the middle stairwell. He's going to be tagged up a little bit from the snub. Now 2 more players join him in this fight. Dezo's going to be on the right. He's going to have a teammate over to the left. They're going to have a flank from Chaoz into the middle. Here comes Monkyz as well, trying to push straight back out onto these mid stairs. Xploidz, he's going to run at the revive. He's going to try to get one chunk out here. He will get it. But look at this, the way that the side of Noble was able to flank right back into the hill with Fearzly. He was hoping to get that cleanup right there and not be in a 3v1. Ends up not being able to come away with anything. Goes down, point lead over to the Knights, and they've already got Monkyz in the next hill, just waiting for somebody to maybe hop the cover. Not going to be able to get that hop, but there's the extra trade onto Xploidz. There's a bunch of teammates there in the middle going for revives. Noble, though, 3 deep here in the middle of the map. There's the wolf pack we were talking about. They're trying to overwhelm the numbers of the Knights here at P2.
41-17, great start from PK. I think Dezo early awareness to go for that drop shot uncontested, really making a difference on this initial. And Noble's going to strike first onto this next hill, but their spawn side is going to be under siege by Chaoz and Raver. That's going to leave Monkyz and Dezo to try to take another angle, spread the defense thin, while also trying to cover that drop shot, which is up in 13 seconds. Shout out J Ribs for keeping us informed.
See what they can do here. The flash is going to come out. 2 people leaving spawn. 2 players of the Knights coming out of spawn right now. It's going to be Raver and I believe Chaoz here trying to get into the backside of the library. Dyslexic will be holding up that first post. He's got 2 more players with him. Monkyz outside. He will throw in a utility grenade, but then get headshotted by Chaoz. Xploidz goes for the up A. The reaction shot bouncing around, tries to get right into the face of Monkyz. Won't be able to get that kill. Fearzly last alive inside of the library, trying to get that down, trying to get those kills. He's got 1 down. Here comes the tag up from Raver. They trade out a kill, and Dezo, big shot on Dezo, second big one, gets both kills. Drop shot on his back. I believe he might have used it already, and he's been alive ever since. Indeed he has. Dezo is 6-0. I was like, is that a second drop? Is that what is that?
Why you gotta curse him like that? Why you gotta curse him? 6-0. Finally, he's gonna drop at the worst time too, Colin. What are you doing? The hill's gonna rotate over, and Noble got the majority of that last hill to come back. Only 11 scored for Pittsburgh on that last hill, compared to about maybe just under 45, something give or take. So Pittsburgh Knights are going to need a big answer back towards this Noble squad onto this next. They're not going to have any power weapons to do it, so it's just going to come down to the stock, depending on if you have a flash or a smoke. Depends on where you position yourself, and it looks like they're going to try to siege the lowest spawn first, work their way in through spawn, but they have to go. Time is already bleeding off the clock.
I was really, honest to God, impressed with the fact that I could channel so much of you and Ryan Fools in my caster curse right there. I'll tell you that much. We're going to see them try to push through multiple lanes here. 1 through the church, 2 of them through the front side, and then finally 1 through the spawn. Monkyz will drop that flash out. He's going to get some help from Dezo. There's the down. Toti, though, answers back. Frag grenade out, gets a kill. Now it's going to be a 3-man push. A second one goes down, so Monkyz will have 1 teammate with him over on the spawn side of things. With Monkyz going down here, they will contend, settle out, and settle down into this hill. I believe, though, that Fearzly might be caught out in the middle of the map, but he's going to be able to stay on that box long enough to get a kill and then still be able to get some help to get the down onto Chaoz. Looks like Monkyz might rotate over, trying to go toward P3, trying to get the close spawn over here, because that was a definitive Noble hill, and they have really gotten a gigantic score lead here going into this P4.
Yeah, not just the definitive hill, but they were able to have a good comeback. But you see Pittsburgh Knights, man, that's back-to-back definitive hills for a Noble squad. And I set it onto that rotation. It was fine and dandy for PK, but that was the worst time to die. And now this next hill is going to already begin to gain them some points on the side of Noble. And that's already saying something. You saw 4 players set up towards the bottom half of the map for Pittsburgh. As you see players toying with the contestation. That's going to be on both sides of the window where they can be saved. So in order to get somebody off of that spot, you have to make a high-risk, high-reward play.
Dyslexic waiting with these frag grenades. I really want to see what he's able to do here. He has to be able to mark one up and be able to throw this frag pretty perfectly. You see Noble trying to hold down the 2-man advantage here inside of the steeple. Fearzly, he's going to have Dyslexic help from behind. Dyslexic's going to throw out that nade. Beautiful job. He blocks Monkyz from rotating back inside of the steeple. Gets the kill on him as he comes out. Dezo goes for the backslides. Not going to be able to get the first shot on. As long as he's being distracted over here, he can't help his teammates with the cross, and therefore giving up the points and the hill positioning over to Noble. 55 to 152 now, almost to the 100-point club is Noble. A few more seconds will get it to him. Dezo goes back to the middle of the stairwell, tries to get shots on, but it's just a little too late. Beautiful job with the movement there, gets that down, gets the kill, the cleanup. And now he has full control, top middle of the map, to be able to put out as much damage as possible. But how much has been sacrificed from this hill?
It's going to be a lot. Noble already breaking in through the spawn. Only 3 points scored for Pittsburgh on that last kill, Colin. I don't know what is going wrong, but this is a flat line like I've ever seen one after a big map victory. A big back-to-back map victory, I should say that. Dyslexic takes down Raver. Noble continuing push through that spawn side and take position on the hill itself. In fact, they've done so much that they're pushing Pittsburgh back off of the hill now onto that grenade spot. Dezo trying to make a sneaky play. It's only going to reward a trade, and honestly, Colin, I don't think that's worth it. Take note of where these players spawn up, because that player that spawns outward, look at number 5. Look at him in the minimap. Xploidz now has a free flank because of that.
Yeah, Xploidz is going to be able to shoot everybody inside of the small hallway. You know that they get the call out coming through, but it's going to be too little too late for him to get that first down. Now you see his teammates moving up into the area. Noble trying to get some of these kills to come through. Xploidz is going to try to bounce up and into the face of one player, but look at the score line, 150 plus maybe here. Going further and further into this map, Noble has gotten better and better. See what Toti can do with this next ability. He's going to bounce right up into the face of one player. Dezo there. Dezo with the backslide, gets the reaction shot and the chunk. Now pushing back down into the hill. Dezo's going to try to help a temeate. 30 seconds left on this, but I mean, we're entering into the area of can't leave a hill early anymore.
I mean, at this point in time, but they have to fight for that drop shot. Now Dezo gets stuck. Already the positioning of the next drop shot's going to go over towards Noble, but they're pressing forward. They want the drop shot and some, but those 2 downs might cost them. Fearzly gets the drop shot. He gets out alive. Xploidz can continue to rack up the score line. Like you said, no points left behind. They leave behind a few on the side of Pittsburgh, but now this is where you have to be perfect. You have to win possibly, I'm just trying to guess at the top of my head, 4 consecutive perfect team fights. Maybe you can give up one. That puts yourself even more into dangers though.
Well, you see here what Noble's done is they've switched over that drop shot into Xploidz' hand, and they're going to try to push through the close spawn. They don't want to allow Pittsburgh to continue to get close spawns, be able to get their resources back into the fight if necessarily quicker. Dezo going to be having the overlook here, but Chaoz is going to move up first. He helped get that down. Dezo with the extra help from the 90 degree. They get the first kill. They get the second kill. Beautiful teamwork there by that gruesome twosome. Xploidz, he has rotated the drop shot directly in front of the hill now. Looking across the middle of the street. He's going to have some shots into Dezo. Dezo's going to rotate out. He's going to go right back into the spawn area. They have a neutralization, though, from the front side of the hill with Dyslexic. As long as he can sit on this cubby, he can keep it... Excuse me, they can keep it neutralized.
Yeah, right now, depending on what they want to do on the side of this Noble spot, they easily attack the spawn with the drop shot, and there's nobody on the other side of the map. It's just Lancers. There's nothing they can do, but Monkyz, he takes out Dyslexic. Xploidz gonna drop. I don't know if he wasted the actual drop shot itself, or it's gonna go down and buried with him in his grave. Either way, it's going to be a blunder that PK is just hoping to take advantage from. I said maybe 4 or 5 team fights. There goes one on the defense to rack up the scoreline, and that is gonna be the most points these guys have scored on a singular hill since that initial.
Shots on in the middle of the map here. Fearzly, he's going to get some help. They're going to get a couple of downs, 230 to 113. Waiting in this next hill. Raver's going to rotate around, really, and all he's going to do is just bleed out, and he's going to wait for that drop shot, though, down at the bottom. I like that positioning by Toti. Toti, to me, he's going to be looking for anybody to try to go for a quick pick here, maybe get some damaging shots on, but Toti's going to get tagged up, so he backs up. He knows that he's got to kind of keep the drop shot out of the hands of the Knights, because the Knights, they're going to try to get that to be able to hold control over that mid-neutral hill. But now with that hill spawning up, they are going to be able to rack up some points, put some more pressure on Knights, and it's going to force the Knights to play away from the power weapon. Revive's abundant, but Raver, he needs to be able to finish a kill or two here. He's going to get some help from Monkyz. Toti bouncing around, looking for one more kill down here onto Chaoz. Gets the wrap, gets the down and the kill. Now he's going to throw a smoke and maybe go for that drop shot here momentarily. I believe they have the angle on him. There's the mark. Toti will pick up the drop. He's going to try to hop over that cover just in a moment, but he's going to wait for his health first. Dyslexic, first man up the stairwell. He's going to get downed out here. Nobody's going to be able to move in for that chunk, for the fear of that drop shot. That's what it's going to be able to do. It's going to be able to keep you on your toes. First drop shot out into that cubby. Gets one onto Chaoz.
Wow.
4 versus 3 on the map now because the revive will come through. No, it won't. Dyslexic is going to bleed out first. He didn't have enough time. Toti needed his teammate to go for that revive, but instead he lets him die, so it was 3v3. But thanks to Fearzly, it's going to keep a numbers advantage toward the top middle of the map.
Chaoz missed a crucial shot, and Something you don't want to do at this high-level play is miss a shot, because that's all it takes. And he goes for the up A, risked it all, and gets taken out as Noble. No points left behind. We said it early or on, and Pittsburgh Knights continue to leave some points behind. But let's say I like how Xploidz is doing. He was pretending like he was gone, not wanting to cap the hill. So maybe somebody would have tried to go for those frags. You see a flank opportunity coming through from Dezo. You spoke about it between the match. Mr. Flank himself trying to take the name from Kenny Bounce, and he answering one out. Toti goes down with the help of somebody else across the map. This is their chance to siege the hill, but they don't have the time. They have to go quick. Xploidz uses some frag grenades to help them out, and they connect. Raver goes down. Chaoz is stuck in a tough spot. 3 members of Noble are there. They take down Chaoz, Monkyz, and Dezo, the last players on this side of the map. They have to keep this neutralized, but they're not going to be able to. Noble continues to score points. Less than 20 remain before they tie this game up and send us to a game 5.
15 seconds to go. Raver outside of the hill on the front line will keep it neutralized for just a moment, but there's the quick flank. There's the rotation. They're going to get shots onto him. Down to 10 seconds. Raver will take that post right back up. He has to jump back out as he's full red. The longer Raver stays alive, waiting for teammates, the better the chances of the Knights are to keep this neutralized. But with him going down, him going out, nobody is in the area. Back and forth we go. I'm so glad I don't have to score this like a judge for a professional fight, because it would be too close to call at this point. We're all tied up. Going into map number 5, ladies and gentlemen, Noble and the Pittsburgh Knights have not disappointed thus far, and I don't believe they have any intention of doing so. We'll be back. One more map. Who's going to win it all? We'll be right back after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the matchup that is yet to disappoint. We are 2-2 all tied up between Noble and the Pittsburgh Knights. I don't know why I always say it like that, Jacob. I'm sorry. I can't help it when I want it. When I get to say, it's like when I get to say Pittsburgh, I'm like, I can't help but like roll the G in it, dog.
I mean, I get it. I get it, man. I be casting paint dry. I be casting people at the park. Sometimes I just like to mix it up, just like Noble did. And I gotta say, man, after watching these replays, as you can kind of see in the scoreline, this is just Noble the rest of the way. 41-17. That's how the game started. Pittsburgh Knights looking strong, looking to carry that momentum after that 2 back-to-back map victories. After that first hill, guess what, Colin?
What?
They just stopped playing. They didn't show up. PK took a water break. They didn't know the game was still live, because then Noble went on a 185-30 run.
Do you know what's
185-30? One of those hills, though, Colin, just not to cut you off, and that 185-30 run, one of those hills was outscored 70-0. There's only 75 points on a hill, and they got outscored 70-0.
You say 100? You say 175-31?
No, I'm gonna make it worse. 185-30.
185. But I ain't no mathematician. I ain't no astrophysicist, but that just feels like a big difference.
That's a massive difference. That's literally half the score. They didn't, in that run, they didn't even let them score throughout 4 hills. That was 4 hills. In those 4 hills, they got 30 points. In hill 1, they got 41. What is Pittsburgh doing? Those guys are just trying to throw the game away.
They trying to win it. They trying to win it old school, all right? They're like, if we win escalation in both executions, that's still 3. That's still 3 maps.
Hey,
we ain't gonna beat them on. We ain't gonna beat them on control. We ain't gonna beat them on control. We got to win that escalation and then 2 executions, man.
I just can't believe it. Like, you keep the game so respectable. They did a good job at the end. Like, the 2 before the very ending portions of the game, they outscored 97 to about 34. But you put yourself so far into a hole. It doesn't matter how good you're doing in the end. If you're not winning, if you're not squad wiping, if you're not playing as close to perfect as possible, these elite teams, you know, this squad like Noble, who's looking to make their way back into the finals, they're not going to give up. You have to leave no points left behind, and you even saw it hill after hill towards the end of the game. They were leaving 10, they were leaving 8, they were leaving 13. Noble's like, okay, that's fine. We're already at 240. Now we're at 250. Now we're at 260, and then you just have to bum rush to the hill from there on out.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we see time and time again with control is people get to a certain point where you can no longer leave those points on the hill. You can no longer leave any room for your teammates to kind of for your opponents to get 5 seconds here, 3 seconds there, 10 seconds, whatever it was, whatever you're calling out. Those are the times where we know the pressure is ratcheted up to as high as it can possibly be. Just like right here, every round in Tomb is maximum pressure for both of these teams. You're now in a lose and go home situation, and the storyline has to be, and this is what we talked, I think it was talked about yesterday, and then you and I kind of, we pontificated on it for a moment. Both of these teams are still carrying the entire weight of their region on their shoulders. At the end of the day, even without a championship, all the pressure for Rise comes internally, I think. Because of Vexies and Detox, they want to be first-time champions. Rushies and Icy want to get back to the winner's circle. Pioneers, they feel like there's no pressure on them. Everybody in their grandmama already looks at them like they're the villains. So if they win, haters are going to hate.
Pressure of a legacy?
No, because I don't think they look at it. They feel like everybody's going to deny their legacy so much. Like just look at the waters. Everybody already denies their legacy so much that they're like, screw it. If we keep winning and keep cashing these checks, we got a bag. Who gives a damn about what people say about our legacy? We know what we did. Our bag knows what we did. With these two teams, they've got the weight of bringing the first championship to an entire world on their back.
And for the Pioneers, honestly, I made this. I was talking to Domes, and I kept telling him, people could say all they want. You know, everyone gave the praise for that Optic Gaming Squad and their Dynasty run, but they forget how it started. It started with 4 kids online being told they'll do nothing on LAN. They were that glory squad that just took over Gears Esports. Gears probably came around that first time. They dominated. Guess what? They were still told they would not do it on LAN. Down in maps, they come out against the experienced Envy to pull the comeback of the century, their first time competing, and now this squad of the Pioneers are following in that same legacy. But the matchup of the day is right in front of us. 2-2. Pittsburgh Knights versus Noble. Woo! And a connection from Dezenide. Can he go back to back? Call it. No, Dyslexic shuts it down.
It's going to be a 3v3 now, ladies and gentlemen. Toti is going to get some snub shots across the map, trying to put some pressure onto whoever's trying to push up against Xploidz. 2 players for the Knights into that back tomb. They get the down, they get the kill. Now 2v3 on the map. Toti's down as well. Last player alive for Nobles going to be Dyslexic. And Dyslexic, he's going to have to make a pretty tough decision. He's going to probably have to bait some players out, trying to be able to get maybe a kill here or a sneak there before that final overtime hill spawns. If I'm the Knights, go set up over those frags, go set up over the hill, and then just wait it out. Go for the advantage over the hill. Don't try to give up a kill. Don't allow Dyslexic to maybe go crazy and make a miracle happen here. Just wait for him to make the mistake.
I wonder if he knew he was there because he spotted him. Why are you yelling, Dyslexic, giving up your position like that? You know you gotta be quiet.
I want to know who Anthony is yelling at anyway. Ain't nobody else alive.
He's saying it for himself, Colin. He's just making sure he remembers it. Body shot with the sniper. It's sad, though, because in this position, there's nothing really Dyslexic to do. There's no options. Grenade, sniper roll that with a body shot, a flank coming through. No options. This ain't Burger King. He can't have it his way.
1-0 lead here for the Pittsburgh Knights, 5 rounds away from coming back against Noble after being down 1-0, then winning the execution, then going up 2-1, then having it tied up with Noble trying to take all of the momentum away from them. This is what we need to be able to figure out what they can do in this next situation, simply because Raver, Dezenide, they're going to switch up the momentum a little bit. Dezenide's going to go up top. Xploidz is going to be caught on that mid garden. Dezenide trying to find the angle. There's the quick down and out. It looks like the other 2 players from the Knights have been able to play defense enough down low to give up that first down and kill. Can they get the cleanup? Or there we go. They're going to use 1 nade to force the cleanup there. Fearzly tries to get that shot across. He's going to be able to miss that torque bow in the middle. Now he's going to look for Chaoz. He's going to miss the second one. 2 players down and dead already. Fearzly and Dyslexic, last 2 alive for this squad.
Just trying to force play after play here. Fearzly with the torque bow, unable to find any connections, partly because PK, they know, they hear it revving, they know where to hide their body, they know which fights to take, especially when they have such a massive advantage. And honestly, I was saying it yesterday in a couple of their matches, in their wins, in some of their losses, the way they have been playing this map this weekend, they've mixed that old meta, a little bit of the new meta to find the perfect strategies, keeping their opponents guessing. And that's really saying something, because the way Dezo has been going off with the torque bow low side, the way Raver can perform towards the high side of the map is just absolutely perfect. And you see it again, a down low play towards the torque bow. This time around, it is going to be matched by Noble.
Fearzly's going to be trying to look across here toward that torque bow, trying to get some damage out. Dyslexic back A won't be able to get anything. He's going to go down yet again. Another first blood over to the Pittsburgh Knights. The Fearzly moves in for that first down, but he's going to get flanked out. He gets some shots on from the back, the middle of the map. Toti, he was trying to save a teammate there, but now it's a 3v2 yet again. And I love this call by Raver. He is going to back all the way up to the top side of the map and await for anybody to possibly chase him out here. They're trying to get this down. They're trying to even it up. And look at this. Raver actually had a teammate come meet him to try and force out a revive possible. Double shots in. Xploidz all by himself. Big final shot out. The Knights, they have officially won 3 straight rounds and are 3 rounds away from sending Noble away from this tournament and moving on to await the loser of the Pioneers and Rise.
And they're really looking like the Wicked Witch in Wizard of Oz. And Pittsburgh Knights is that house that is crushing there. You see the toes just curling up, going away 3-0. They are just destroying. They are just shutting them down. Dezo once again throwing out an audible, going towards the top half of the map. He's that player that goes down low, that fights for the torque bow, but a big flank coming through. That's going to be Toti. 1 down already. Monkyz is trying to do something. He at least was able to get that elimination onto Fearzly. Now he finds himself in a tough spot. Shutdown comes in, but Raver has the sniper. Dezo, I believe, has an opportunity up top against Xploidz, and it looks like Raver is flanking. Xploidz needs to figure out a way to survive or at least get a trade, and he does! He gets the trade! Looking to go back-to-back. He knows the damage is there onto Raver, and he needs no help. Noble is now on the board.
Noble with their first round, they answer back. They've got to get a couple of more to try to tie it up, just to try to stay into this, keep the momentum out of the grasp of the Knights, excuse me. Raver trying to just do everything he can for his squad in so many different situations in that map, finally getting shut down. This time I'll be curious to see if the Knights go with another different strategy, if they try to change it up yet again, and it looks like they might be doing just that. They're gonna go standard 2-1-1 here. They're gonna be matched up completely against Noble. First flash out. Fearzly will move into that cubby. He makes the very first move, so he has a little bit of an advantage here over the real estate, looking for the damaging shots here. Dezo, he's stacked up bottom side of the map with Chaoz. Middle of the map, you have Monkyz and, of course, Raver up there by the long shot. Nobody has been able to make a move just yet. Now we're going to have a little bit of a playback. Raver is pushed up against Xploidz. I like this from Dyslexic, where Dyslexic is trying to find an angle on anybody. He's trying to get some shots on to force somebody either out of their position or force somebody to make a bad mistake. Monkyz will get tagged up just a little bit there.
Look at the mechanic, though, Colin. Look at the mechanic. He's lefty flips when he has right hand, just to get that extra couple of % onto that angle, just to pepper up Monkyz enough. And now Monkyz knows that angle is there, but now Fearzly is getting peppered up as well. That is going to be from that same angle that Monkyz had. Just want to get him out of that spot, and that's why you kind of see Pittsburgh Knights not taking that same spot, because that angle is there. And you know, just a few % is all someone needs to kind of use that as a green light to go to press forward in a 1v1, hopefully take that exchange. You see everybody rotating around the middle of the map, but I will say Noble has the advantage because Toti has actually positioned himself in towards the middle, where Monkyz is back just a little bit too much.
Overtime Hill is going to spawn. We have yet to have a kill. We've had all the utilities thrown out in this round thus far. Raver does have, I believe, a flash on his person, so 1 utility still in somebody's hand. No, 2 utilities, Monkyz and Raver. Both of them have the ability to stun, but that overtime Hill is going to be at the bottom of the map. There goes 1 flash out onto Toti. Tries to get the stun onto him, but Monkyz doesn't get a good enough shot to be able to press the issue. It looks like Noble's going to be trying to mount it up over that hill. They're going to be just inside of it. Shots are going to come out. First kill comes through, and second one does as well. Noble, they win a stalemated second round into that overtime Hill.
Great play by Toti there. You saw how he put the damage onto his opposition. just enough as well. It didn't matter what happened. Even if Toti somehow dies with Monkyz pushing up, he did just enough to get the downs onto the overtime hill to give Dyslexic and Fearzly the advantage. Eventually, Monkyz tries to hop over, but the hill is captured by then 2 rounds in a row for Noble to begin to make this one interesting.
Up top, you're going to see a flash come out from Dezo. Trying to find any shots on the Xploidz. Beautiful peppering shots here. A lot of damage has been put out, but there's a flank. I believe Raver was able to make the flank. They get the down, trying to even this up, make it 3-3. And you can see it looks like, I think Monkyz is trying to run away from Dyslexic here. Monkyz is trying to save his life, but he cannot do that. Dyslexic will win that 1v inside of the spawn area. Meanwhile, inside of the tomb, Toti, no help needed.
What the hell? I forgot Fearzly was even alive, bro. Let alone with the torque bow.
Hey, it's all right, man. Sometimes you forget things. Sometimes I forget things. You know who's not forgotten?
Noble?
Noble. They have not forgotten. They have not forgotten that they got to win this bit to move forward. I tell you that much.
I remember seeing somebody in chat saying, Noble fight back. Are you happy? Are you happy they're fighting back?
Swinging wildly. Swinging wildly.
Game on our map number 5 to start off the day between the 2 Latin American powerhouses trying to create history this weekend. Not in this matchup, but hoping to claim the first championship for the region's history. Shout out to the ladies of Pittsburgh. They were able to get 1 thanks to the Xbox Invitational for them. I'll see if their male counterparts can do it. See them getting aggressed by Chaoz and Monkyz, or I should say Dezo towards the bottom half. And I love this. PK constantly switched up their personnel.
Dezo going to go down, though. Quick revive out onto him. Dezo will pick up that torque bow, trying to find that pick there in the middle of the map. Toti will rotate back behind that mid pillar. Right in the grill of Dezo. He gets the shot on with the torque. Chaoz tries to come up with a roadie run right into the grill of another player. Dyslexic, though, he is just the last person alive for Noble. 2v1, Monkyz and Raver versus Dyslexic, and Dyslexic using every possible shot to try to get downs and outs right now. But, I mean, he's about to get flanked out. Shots through that gate won't be enough here. He's going to be full red. They've got to continue to press forward onto him. Shots on. There's the down. There's the out. The hop, the drop. Snub out. They're going to get those kills. 4-3 Knights. They take the lead right back.
Stopping the bleeding is going to be important. I'm just waiting for the 1 round. They just unleash Raver at the top side of the map, because we know how deadly he was in the run when they play that side. He gets in towards the middle and he causes a lot of destruction. I like the way they're able to balance out, though. Play all sides of the map, make sure to keep their opponents guessing. As see, is he going to grab the shot grenade? No, he's not going to grab it this time around, but Xploidz is. That's going to be able to neutralize Raver from pushing up, or at least at the very minimum, lock him in towards the spawn. You see flash grenades coming out at the bottom side of the map as well. Raver is going to be forced back. Sniper's going to be picked up by Xploidz. He's going to have the first power weapon in the game, and Dezo going down. Dyslexic with the first blood, and honestly, what a better time to get it. He gets back-to-back as he takes out Chaoz as well. Xploidz simply trying to stay alive. He's not going to be able to do it, but a team kill coming through. It's going to be a sacrifice as he takes out both Raver and Monkyz. Noble once again ties us up on our game 5.
Best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. We now have the first team to win 2 rounds will win this matchup. We go into round number 9 here. It's all tied up 4-4. Who will be able to take the lead in this next one? Rolling out a spawn here, coming toward the middle of the map. It looks like we're going to go with a 2-1-1 yet again. Pittsburgh Knights have stacked up. They're going to have both teams have their shock to the top side of the map. Both of them will throw it as well. It looks like the shock for the Noble side will come out first. Fearzly will get tagged up on that mid cover. The flash from Toti was basically perfect, but they flipped sides now. So now Toti has a picture-perfect flank. Looks like Monkyz is going to have to drop through the middle of that fence line trying to help out, but now they're going to be caught between everybody else on the map. Chaoz, he sees Fearzly go for the 360, and he doesn't get it to go. Chaoz will shut him down, but now Chaoz is going to get pressed by 2 players from Noble. He's going to go down and out. It's going to be up to Raver in a 2v1. Long shot in hand. Can he pull this one off, Jacob? This is going to be tough sledding, but if anybody can do it, it's going to be this man.
In my head, why isn't Chaoz getting out of that situation. Probably scared to take 2 big shots to get downed on the way out, but the pressure is now on to Raver. One team will go up on a match in series point after this one. Sniper, frag grenades in the hands of Raver. He's trying to press the fight against the Torpo, but splash damage is in. He's at least trying to get a bait out, but he's allowing them to take too much positioning. Raver falls. Noble is on map and series point.
You see where Toti pulled out the snub? Toti pulled that thing out. Toti was about to put a beat down to him, and I think they got that shot off very quickly. Hold on. Yeah, dyslexic. So let's see this here. Raver's gonna go down. Are we gonna see it on the replay? Yeah, Toti pulls his nose. Dyslexic's like, no, yeah, no, right now, not right now.
Next round. This is Pittsburgh Knights. Pressure is definitely on yet again. Raver not grabbing it. They go back to the new meta. Dezo bull rushing towards the top side of the map, trying to grab the sniper. He should drop. Raver gets the revive. Shock grenade is in. Double down for Dezo. He has no more. He has to be careful. Chaoz is lost at the bottom side of the map. Xploidz is left to fend for himself while the team fights a 1v3 situation. Raver gets one. Monkyz survives. Monkyz gets one. 2v2 going down. Flank from Dyslexic. He gets 2 on his own. He took out Raver. He took out Dezo. 1v1 Dyslexic versus Monkyz. Game on the line for Pittsburgh.
Monkyz will trade some shots there with the snub. Dyslexic is going to throw a shock out, try to get Monkyz off of that cubby. First shot, only a few pellets. Dyslexic with a backslide, but Monkyz, he hits the concrete block to save his squad. They tie it up. Round 11, map 5. Not a damn person in a build's going to have their breath after this one because we have got ourselves 1 round for your tournament life. Who do you trust right here? Knights, Noble, this thing ain't disappointed from the jump, boy.
Ay, Dios mío, Colin. Everything on the line in round number 11. Latin America, everybody make noise, no matter who you're rooting for. Fearzly going and pushing up. Great stuns from both of these teams to counteract each other. Chaoz takes some damage. Dyslexic has decided to go, and he gets taken down. First blood for PK, but Fearzly evens it up just in the nick of time. Toti going down, trying to make a play. Monkyz on the flank. The trades continue. He doesn't let it go through. It's all up to Xploidz. Xploidz goes down. Knights do it. They complete the comeback. Oh my God. Raver deserves to celebrate after a momentous comeback victory, and it started in map number 2 with a 6-3 victory to tie up the series. The Pittsburgh Knights will not go down, Colin.
They will not die. They cannot be killed. And oh boy, Dyslexic, why'd you quit?
That's just a bittersweet feeling, man. You want to be a good sport, but at the end of the day,
you ain't trying to get beat down for 25 seconds on stream after you get eliminated.
I wasn't even thinking of that. That's not even in my mind. The overall loss is what I'm talking about. But the boys of Pittsburgh are coming for the gold, Colin.
Oh my God. I'm telling you right now, John and Ryan's bracket already done been met up. All right. They'd already done been met up. So is Ribs. All three of them. Look, I wasn't going to throw Ribs under the bus like that. My man PR went hard enough on Ribs yesterday. I didn't need to throw him under the bus too. I didn't need to do that, Jacob. Oh,
I didn't think it was possible, man. With Noble being the last hope, I thought they had it. The way they have been looking, but that's what I'm saying. You can never count out the feeling. You can never count out a team that has been in it before. With all the experience in the world, they have shown up the biggest moment of them all. We talked about their lackluster season, but what does the regular season matter if you show up on championship weekend and you show up on championship Sunday at that and take out what some would look at as the #1 team in your region?
Well, if you want to know how champions possibly get it done, who better to ask than 3 champions themselves? It's our analyst desk right now. Let's throw it on over to Fallout and the boys.
Thanks so much, Colin. You're right. I did win Devastation 6-team tournament. Beat Infinity, though. It was my only championship. But jokes aside, joined alongside the real champions. Ribs alongside the one and only Ryan Fools. Champions in their own right of their previous Echo Fox, Team Envy, Infinity, and so many other squads. But more important than any of that is the fact that we just saw one of the craziest games of Gears 5 in the modern era. That was unbelievable, Ryan.
That was incredible. You just can't ask for anything better to kick off Championship Sunday. Game number 5, final round. We had 1v1s for the bread. We had huge plays being made. Such an incredible matchup. And the Pittsburgh Knights are still here. The team that everyone forgot about is still here. They are knocking out contenders. Absolutely incredible performance. That whole freaking series was just incredible.
Yeah, wild. And the fact that we got to see Game 5 execution, the fact that execution is the Game 5 mode just makes it so much more fun to watch. It was so intense between these two teams. Absolute war, absolute bloodbath. We saw Dyslexic on the flank in round number 10. We'll, of course, see that on the replay here in just a moment, but Monkyz went massive rips.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it. I'm so very impressed with the Knights. They're able to steal it. I have to talk about that map 3 because I counted them out in pretty much every respawn game type, but they win that escalation round number 9. That guaranteed them the ability to play an execution map 5, and they take advantage of it. And I also want to give a lot of credit to whoever's the playmaker, the strategy caller for the Knights. They kept Noble off balance. Dezo going from one side of the map to the Torpo. Then he's going up top to the grenades. They're just using the whole map to their disposal, keeping Noble off balance. Then it comes down to a faded round number 10 and 11. Monkyz wins a huge number 1v1, a huge 1v1 versus one of the best 1v1 players in Dyslexic, and we're about to see that right here. And then on the round 11, it's just a clean sweep for the Knights. What an amazing match for them. We all counted them out. John, Ryan, at this point, our losers bracket portion of our brackets are wrong. Can the Knights get another upset? That'll be the question in the future, but their tournament is still alive, and that is just, once again, they were 8th seed coming into this tournament, John.
Insane. And that's the thing. You can't count out Chaoz. You can't count out Dezo, Monkyz, Raver on tournament days. They show up. They turn up. They've been here before, and they do it again over the favorites coming from the LATAM region in Noble. They defeat them 3-2, but it was neck and neck. I mean, just take a look at this match score. Game number 1 started with the bang. Noble comes out 300, 284, so close, and the Knights are able to bounce back. But that escalation game, number 3, was insane as well. Brian talks about that one.
Yeah, that escalation game was truly incredible. Jordan and I were at the studio saying, man, like if the Knights can squeeze this one out, that puts them in a very favorable position to win this series. And you take a look kind of stepping back, obviously after an incredible escalation, look at this series in general, right? You have Noble winning both controls. You have PK winning both executions. We say it time and time again. That escalation in the middle is so important. That is such a pivotal swing. That's the difference maker right there.
It really was for the Pittsburgh Knights. They've obviously played a lot of escalation in their days. Perhaps the experience came to fruition here, and ultimately, the Pittsburgh Knights do it. They advance to the losers bracket finals, but what a way to start Championship Sunday. A nail-biter between these two teams that could have gone either way. I mean, Noble also fighting back. They were down 3-0 in game number 5, Ribs, and they were able to fight back and force round number 11.
Yeah, we can't speak enough about how good Noble still is. There's so many different instances here where they still could be in this bracket. They still could have won, but they're going to go down with a 4th place. That's very disappointing. I want Noble to hold their heads up high. Still a great performance. This is still the first event of Season 3. But yes, the Knights will retain the title as the best players in Latin America, the Latin American Kings, whatever you want to call it. They're still in this tournament. They will be sitting in a top 3 position right now in losers finals, waiting to see who's going to come down into that losers bracket from our winners final.
Yeah, watching, waiting, and commiserating as they're going to have to get ready for this losers bracket final against a tough Rise or Kansas City Pioneer squad. I mean, whoever they face, they're going to be coming off a red-hot game in the winners bracket finals. So nonetheless, their work certainly cut off, and they got a lot of work to do here as we are excited to see that one. But speaking of which, we got our winners bracket final. It's Rise and the Kansas City Pioneers, the matchup we have all been waiting for. You heard a lot of shit talk yesterday from Handles, obviously saying, hey, Rise couldn't even get there last time, so congrats that they did it this time. Well, this time Rise is here. They're ready to play, and they've looked great. We are going to jump to a quick break, but on the other side, we got Rise. We got the Kansas City Pioneers in our winners bracket final here for Championship Sunday, and trust me, you will not want to miss this marquee, high-octane matchup.